Shout out to Tom McDonald. Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble morning. Yo, let's talk about it. I want to welcome everybody to the Writer's Life Brings You the Let's Talk About It podcast. And today's topic, y'all, is Donald Trump. I did a live 2 days ago about this, right? So this will be a part two. I'm gonna do the debate and Biden's racing speeches on the weekend when I got a little more time to, really put in a couple hours into that. But today, right, I've been listening to all the news, about Donald Trump and everything. Hold on, here we go. So basically, right,
My name is Lucy, and
all right, so basically, let me pause this real quick. I'm gonna put the volume up. Shout out to this YouTuber, the Young Turks. They put a video out. It says what we know about Trump Valley rally shooter Thomas Matthew Crooks, right? So there's a lot surfacing about this rally. I don't know what y'all think, how y'all feel about this. I gave my opinions. I should have put part two, but I'll do that later. I gave my opinions on part one of this. I'll edit the live later. I should have put part two on this right here. But this is part two from my other live. Let's get this John started, right? Let's listen to what they gotta say. But before we do, I want to ask y'all: do y'all believe that what happened to Donald Trump is fake, or do y'all believe it's real? There is so much surfacing, about the attempted assassination on Donald Trump that I'm over here like, damn. Like, I mean, when I first saw it, I couldn't tell if it was real or fake, like with the way everything happened. And I'm gonna be very honest. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like, I know that the world is a stage, like, but then who would wanna sit here and try to shoot themselves, right? But you never know. Let's listen to what they gotta say, and then I'll give y'all a little more of my opinion, my perspective. But let's watch everything, and I'm gonna also react to Papa Duck. Papa Duck has an opinion.
Assassin of Donald Trump. Here's what has been revealed thus far about the man identified as the attempted assassin of Donald Trump, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Pennsylvania. Details have been very slow to come out. There are a few specific biographical details that we're going to cover. There's been a little bit that those who knew him have revealed. And very recently, like very shortly before we went live, the FBI had announced that they had gotten into his phone, but thus far no details had come out about that, and that might take a day or longer. But you're seeing photos of Thomas Crooks. We know a few things. We know that in the attack, he used a semi-automatic AR-style rifle that was purchased legally by his father. He had a membership at a nearby gun club for at least a year.
Damn, this is crazy, right? So apparently they're saying that a high school student, right, is the man who tried to assassinate Trump and missed. Like, what was crossing through this man's head? Was he alone? Like, a lot of people have been asking the question, but right along with that question, I've heard so many people say, could this have been fake? And everybody got their own reasons, their own opinions, and their own perspectives. I'm stuck. Could it be? Could it be real? Could it be fake? I'm there too. But my reasons is because, like I tell people, yo, I know the world is a whole stage. But then again, I think about it. Why in the world would Trump want to do this to himself? Then I sit here and think, could it be, the blue side? He's allegedly on the red side. Like, there's so many ways that, this could go about. But the question is, right, what would make this high school student want to shoot Trump?
He was a registered Republican. And apparently in 2021, he gave $15 to a progressive fundraising organization. Notably, he registered as a Republican in 2022 after that donation in 2021. He has probably less of a social media presence.
All right, so it appears that he was a Democrat at one point and then became a Republican a year later. I don't know, maybe he wasn't happy with the way things were happening while Biden was in office, and then he decided to switch. I don't know. Like, we're talking about a teenager here now, right? Like, that's the biggest question that still remains. What was running through this young man's head when he decided to pull that trigger?
Than virtually anyone else in the modern era, and there's almost no public information about what he thought about pretty much anything. So in terms of a motive, we are very much in the territory of almost baseless speculation at this point. We know a little bit about him politically. We know what some people have said about his ideology, but we don't have a manifesto. We don't have comments online to go by. And so we honestly don't know. And that makes it a very bizarre thing. When we were waiting to find out who it was.
I have a question. When has it ever taken the feds to find information on somebody? Now, y'all know he's 20 years old. Y'all know about his dad. Y'all found out the high school he was in. Y'all found his phone. And y'all telling me that you, the CIA, none of y'all can make a whole manifesto on the young man and then put together why he did this, especially after y'all talked to almost all the students in the school that he was attending, including the teachers and principal. And if y'all don't believe me, the videos are on YouTube.
I would have conversations with people, and some of them speculated that it could end up being some sort of pro-gun conservative. And I thought, sure, that's possible, but that's like 10% chance. You just assume when there's political violence, it's someone naturally on the other side. And so there are people who have presented him as a guy who was bullied. Some people push back against that characterization. Some are saying he never gave off like a school shooter vibe. But some people have said that he's a loner. He was apparently like ejected from the gun club for being dangerous and a bad shot. And so I think it's easy to speculate that maybe this was an attention grabbing thing, but that is almost entirely based on speculation at this point. And until we learn more, it's hard to know what the motive is. Two more.
So basically, we got a young man. We got a young man that was bullied, allegedly. Some say that he wasn't. Some say he was a loner. Some say that he was weird. I mean, basically, he was a loner. He didn't get along with others. He was probably antisocial. I mean, we don't know in what state of mind this young man was, right? Damn, like, do a deeper background with the parents and the the mom and the dad. I mean, I don't know, like, it's weird to me how the feds or the CIA is taking this long. I mean, something's missing.
More things that we know about him. Number one, he didn't make the tryouts for junior varsity rifle team. So, to which I think we say thank God, because if he had made the team, he'd probably be a better shot, and then Trump would be dead. And in that case, by the way, we would have massive uprising in America and chaos. And right now,
Well, we might anyway, but yeah.
I mean, if the bullet goes an inch the other way, there might be a riot in white areas of America. I mean,
If the bullet went the other way, he got shot in the ear. The bullet went the other way, he would have been shot in the brain. Like, yo, either way, it's fucked up. Like, if the assassination was real, it's completely messed up. If it was, a script, it's still even more messed up. Because, like, damn, why lie? Like, what was the whole purpose? But I'm not sure how it goes. Like, I do know for a fact that the world has, is staged. Like, we're looking at stuff through television. Like, man, we can go about this in so many ways. I don't know what y'all thinking, how y'all feel, but y'all more than welcome to give y'all perspectives.
might be something we've never seen before.
Yeah.
And so thank God he didn't make the team. And he was.
Yeah.
And by the way, credit to the Trump fans who saw him and pointed him out to the authorities, because after the cop went up to the roof, although the guy points the gun at him, the cop falls off the roof and could not get him. but then the shooter rushed the shots.
100%.
And then he
I think
fires.
that's being weirdly ignored in this.
Yeah. And rushing the shots makes a huge difference.
100%.
Yeah.
I think it makes an inch difference.
Yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
My question is, what was these feds doing, right? Because before he got shot in the ear, you heard the a couple times. There was like probably 4 shots thrown at once before he, the shot even hit him at the ear. Like the young boy was really a bad aim.
I think if you were a MAGA guy that saw the shooter or tried to do something about that rally, you deserve a ton of credit and nice job.
Trump's life.
Yeah, you literally might have saved Trump's life. So you should be super proud of that.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Our audience has helped build TYT into the media giant it is today. Together, we can accomplish anything. Support our work and join us at tyt.com/team.
The second thing we know about him is apparently after COVID was done, he kept wearing his mask, and that, so he cared a lot about COVID. Now, these tiny little things we learn then leads people into massive speculation. And right now, the authorities do have a social media. They say that it is not very political and that they haven't learned much from it. Okay. But is that really going to hold? We don't know, because so often there's all the speculation right after an event. And then you eventually find out 2 days, 2 weeks later, and it's usually definitive. Because if you go to shoot the president, it is super weird not to leave some sort of explanation as to why you did it.
Yeah.
Because that defeats half the point of doing it. Because usually it's a mad guy.
Didn't it allegedly take y'all forever to find, the Reagan killer and the JF Kennedy killer? Y'all not making sense right now.
Sorry, madmen, right? And people who have mental health issues, et cetera, right? And you have to have some sort of issues to try to shoot anyone, let alone the president. But when it's the president, it's almost always for a political reason. So there's very likely to be one. We just don't know what it is right now.
Yeah, well, and remember there was the guy who I think it was trying to kill Reagan because he wanted Jodie Foster's attention. Like it doesn't always have to be an explicitly political thing. They can use that. But I would also say, like, I think it matters who the person is, why they did it. I think that matters. I will say that from going around this space, I have heard almost no conversation about who the person was or why they did it. No one seems to care. And I would say that, theoretically, you might be thinking, well, if there's a manifesto, and let's say that hypothetically explains why he did it or whatever, well, then that changes the conversation. I don't know that it necessarily does, because I'm pretty sure the guy who attacked Paul Pelosi had a manifesto, and it did not do anything to stop the homophobic conspiracy theories coming out of that. Like even when there's a definitive, like this is why I'm doing it, I don't know that at that point anyone is going to care. I think I can be wrong.
Yeah, but
I hope facts matter.
Yeah, but so what I would say about that, John, is that I'm not sure that I care if it's a liberal or a conservative, because who cares? The guy's a madman either way, right?
I agree.
So like, would it make it better for us on the left if he was a conservative? Only in that I guess we wouldn't have as many absurd attacks from the right wing to fend off and to deal with and et cetera. But what does it matter in the real world as to could we have prevented it? Is there something we could learn from it for next time? No, not really, whether he's liberal or conservative. Mm-hmm. If you want to prevent things like this next time, there is one thing that we already told you in this story already that makes a giant difference. He was a gun nut. And so when you have people who believe that guns are the answer, they usually mean it. And so I know that nothing can move right wing on gun control. And I put out a tweet about it at some point after the shooting. And oh yeah, they're not moved at all. Even if the guy had put 12 bullets in Trump's brain, they still would be like, no, I want my, bump stock. I want my RPGs. I want my tanks. I don't care. I want guns. Guns is the answer. I forgot the question, right? And so the connective tissue of all of these shootings is that they're shootings.
100%.
And that it's because of we have no gun control in this country, and any lunatic can grab a gun.
I swear that this man is sounding more and more like Biden the more he talks. First y'all want the guns out, then y'all want no guns. Then y'all want them again, and then y'all wanna, man, y'all can't even make up your mind.
And kill anyone they like.
And they're always going to choose the best, most accurate, most powerful, fast shooting, high capacity weapon that they can. We get to decide how good do we want that to be. It's not a coincidence that this guy, like most mass shooters, decided to go with an AR-15 style rifle. He tried to take down Trump with it. How does that not help break through? But it won't, in the same way that those people using those or like armor-piercing ammunition against cops has not changed the conversation. They're cop-killing weapons, and nobody seems to care. And it's not gonna matter in this case.
Yeah, culture is very hard to change. The right-wing culture is set now. There's nothing that anyone can do with a gun that would change their minds.
No.
I mean,
Wait a minute. He just said that the guns are cop-killing weapons. See, the guns don't choose who to aim and who to kill. You have to pick up a gun and shoot it. So the guns ain't choosing to kill no damn cops or a white person, a Hispanic person, or a black person. No, the person is holding the gun decides and chooses whose life they're going to end with that weapon in their hand. They're the ones that pull the trigger because the gun doesn't pull its own trigger.
massacring children already happened many times. Killing or attempted to kill their own politicians. Steve Scalise, one of the leading Republicans, shot at a softball game. Now Donald Trump shot, etc. Nothing is going to change their minds. And we're going to have more and more shootings, and this is just one of them.
Yep.
Right. And of course, Trump survived, but a rally goer did die, and as John pointed out earlier in the show, heroically covering his family while he got shot.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's taking too long for them to find information on this young man. It's like they don't want to. But that's my opinion. I don't know what y'all think, but I feel as though they don't want to find who did this to Trump. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to get the other video. So I'm gonna leave Papa Duck for the end, and then I'm gonna see. I'm gonna ask y'all once more. Do y'all believe that it's fake, or do y'all believe that it's real?
Moment, he understood that everything had changed for the country and for himself.
He shot to kill the former president.
It's a miracle he's alive.
Congressman and former U.S. Army sniper, Corey Mills. What kind of shot was this, Corey, from 130 yards?
Look, at the end of the day, this is a shot that your basic training boot camp soldier is requested to make within their 9-week period. This is one of the easiest shots, and they train all the way out till 300 or 500.
All right, so now they're analyzing, was it possible, for the young boy to do this? I mean, listen, man, young boy missed because he wasn't trained. He didn't know how to handle that weapon, obviously. Now, where y'all got to get to is, right, what caused it? What led him to be there that day with that rifle in his hand, trying, with the thoughts of taking the president out? Could he have been paid, or did he do this voluntarily? Was he mad at the president for some reason? I don't know if I'm asking the right questions.
And when I was doing the counter sniper, it wasn't with the United States Army. It was actually when I was with the State Department and was doing this exact thing, which is trying to look at going out with an advanced team, establishing what the perimeter is. And then as a sniper, when you would set up, you'd put together your range sketch or your range fan cards. And that would tell you where your 100, your 200, your 300, and you'd identify the areas of threat that you would be able to mitigate. And if there's multiple targets, you understand that your elevation and windage knob wouldn't have to be messed with, especially at 160 yards. You could literally just look, quickly glance, and know from the reference point, whether it be a building, whether it be a lone tree, whether it be a parking lot, maybe it's a road. Bottom line is that this is massive negligence to the point of me speculating on what was intentional and what wasn't. I can only speculate, and we'll have to wait until the investigation comes out, that they thought local law enforcement was potentially climbing up onto the roof when they saw a dark object on a light roof. But here's the issue.
I gotta look at this. Maybe they got that map wrong.
He's speculating on what was intentional and what wasn't. You know, I can only speculate.
All right, so this is the shooter's location over here. Trump stage right here. Trump's evacuation point. I don't know if y'all can see this, but this is crazy. Hold on. This is not adding up. Because when I was looking at it on TV, right? Well, then, you know, it could have been mirrored. The image could have been mirrored because from right here, it looks like he got shot from the right. But when you looked at the video, it looked like he could have gotten shot from somewhere either on this area over here, where it says counter sniper teams or Trump evacuation point, right? Because when you looked at it from the TV, it looked like he got shot from the left. But they're saying that the shooter's location was all the way over here on the right. Yeah. Because if you stand on it and you mirror it, it is the right. Okay. So I'm getting it now. I had to look at the map real good because I'm like, wait. This is not making sense. All right. Everything is mirrored the way they recorded. All right. But.
And we'll have to wait until the investigation comes out that they thought local.
Blessings, Van D Gaming. Blessings, how you doing today? Everything is crazy. Yo, this is strange, yeah. But the location does add up. Like when they record, it looks like they record with a mirror image.
Law enforcement was potentially climbing up onto the roof when they saw a dark object on a light roof. But here's the issue.
Wait. You're saying maybe they misconstrued Crooks for local law enforcement?
It's very possible. I don't want to speculate until the investigation is over. But the bottom line is that if you saw someone climbing onto a roof that you hadn't authorized any clearance on.
So they're saying that the feds mistook this 20-year-old boy to be somebody from their crew. And that's why they didn't take action right away. But y'all didn't give them clearance. Either way, why not go check? Because if somebody made it inside, like, damn, why is this person not following orders? Like, hold the fuck up.
It's got a clear line of sight. It's exactly adjacent to the shooting where the president was sitting. And you're talking about a pop shot and you got people yelling and there should have been comms. The minute that local law enforcement, who apparently had a rifle pointed on, there should have been an emergency frequent comms channel that they could have said, we have a.
Introducing Supernatural Femininity, the divinely inspired course designed for today's woman. Picture this. You step into a world where your strength is your
No commercials. No.
And he said in that moment, he
president and took him off and then responded to the counter sniper exactly adjacent to the shooting where the president was sitting. And you're talking about a pop shot and you got people yelling and there should have been comms. The minute that local law enforcement, who apparently had a rifle pointed on, there should have been an emergency frequent comms channel that they could have said, we have a shooter on the roof. Secret Service should have rushed the stage and immediately took the president and took him off and then responded to the counter sniper. The shot.
That's a fact. It's like they did everything backwards. Was this planned? Like, shit ain't. Look, listen, man. The math ain't mathing. Let's put it like that.
Should not have gone off. That is the failure in itself. You're supposed to be able to try and, the best security is when you go in and you're actually able to prevent an incident, not react to an incident. Even if you would have left a law enforcement officer's patrol car in that parking lot with the lights on, that could have been a deterrent. But when you have nothing that is actually showing force protection, you're encouraging this. Look, I'm not sure about who the individuals are on the individual detail Secret Service, but I can tell you under this Biden administration, the one thing I've seen is massive DEI hires. And I can tell you, when you primarily go after DEI, you end up with DIE. The minute that a shot rang out, they should have already been on scope. Your spotter should have already have called the distance if you hadn't looked at your range card, and you should have immediately engaged. Okay. There should have been no reason to have waited a single second. Now, I talked to Eric Trump after the incident. Eric and I are both gun enthusiasts. We both shoot long distance. That right there is a pop shot. But he did say, I've gone out with the CS teams, and they are one of the best. He knows the service detail that's with them. They are loyal individuals who actually do care about the president.
Yo, why did they have this short lady from the feds try to cover Trump up? Like, she didn't even go over his head. Like, she pushed over the tall guy to sit here and try to cover him. Lady, his head is still exposed.
I can say that was relayed to me, but the bottom line is this is a massive security breach. This is a huge failure. At negligence is at best.
Yo, y'all see when he did that? Like, to me, that means power to the people. Y'all know there's a lot of people talking about that he's trying to start a riot because he pulled his fist out like that, talking about that means you got to fight, keep fighting, keep fighting. I thought it meant power for the people. Yeah, let's keep fighting for the right thing, but not fighting like to start some riot, though. Like, the shit people say.
But we have to figure out why something within 200 yards. Think about this, Jesse, 200 yards. That means that an average rifle that holds 1 minute of angle would hold a 2-inch grouping if you just shot it straight off the deck, meaning on a platform. So now you're talking about 160, which is 1.6 inches is what its grouping capabilities are. The average head is what? 6'8", shoulder to shoulder is 20 inches, head to waist is 40 inches, and President Trump's a very large man. This is a shot that within 5 minutes I could teach you to make 9 out of 10 times. So this is divine intervention. This is the God having his protective hand and wearing Ephesians 6, the armor of God over the president, because this right here, a millisecond or a millimeter and change, and this isn't an attempted assassination. This is an assassination of a president.
We're going to lose our country. It's going to be a disaster, and we have to do something.
If we don't have anything that ties us together, when that day comes, and you know what I mean, when the economic crisis comes, because it's coming.
Why do they keep calling him the president if he is the ex-president? He was the 45th president, and I know he's running to become the 47th president, but it hasn't been determined yet that he is the president unless you all elected him as the president, and we, the people, don't know that he is the president. I don't know.
Coming. Like, what's that going to look like? It's going to be very scary.
Trump, Tucker, Elon, and a Fox presenter deliver a chilling prophecy. The United States is on the brink of losing its identity and spiraling into disaster.
The other is that there's a net benefit to them in destroying this country.
Our public obsessions are getting increasingly irrelevant, actually. Increasingly, it's like crazy.
You notice they never go after the people that cheated on the election. They go after the people that are looking at the people that cheated on the election. Think of it, right? It's a disgrace what's going on with our country. The radical left, Democrats rigged the presidential election in 2020, and we're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election in 2024. We're not going to allow it.
There's been a lot of complaining about this. It's clearly a destructive trend that's people, particularly children, destabilizing the society, and it doesn't make any sense. So it's making all of us irrational. But for some reason, nobody has taken the time to figure out who's profiting from this. And you've done what I think is a spectacular dive into this, an amazing overview of the economics of.
Elon Musk issues a profound plea for the preservation of society, urging leaders and citizens alike to prioritize the creation of future generations.
And I think that perhaps my biggest advice.
Listen, man, the way they're talking, the way this is going, they know something we don't know. Like, something big coming. Something big coming. Like, if this is fake, right, it could be for, to draw attention of people, to, I don't know, to pay attention to whatever it is they want us to pay attention, to distract us from whatever it is that they're doing underneath our noses, right? And if it's real, then I feel bad for the president. Because what's crazy is, like, what's happening to Trump, like I told people on my first live, I wasn't shocked about it because we've been warned. They've been told us what's going to happen. Right? But it's crazy though, the predictions, they predictions as they call it, but no, to me they're not predictions. When they told us what they was gonna do, right, and they showed us, they would normally show Trump in a casket. They never, showed us what would happen, how it would happen. But now we're seeing. See, I already knew that something was gonna happen. How, when, where, that's the part. This shit is crazy. Like, believe it or not, that's been talked about for years. They say they predicted his death, but I feel as though they're just telling us it's going to happen.
To leaders, to government leaders, and to the people in general would be to make sure to have children to create the new generation. And I think any incentives that can be done to incent the new generation, to make it easier for women to have children and to support the children, I think would be very wise.
So over the years, politicians have given.
So Elon is just trying to tell us to wait. I gotta go back to what Elon said.
It's a spectacular dive into this, an amazing overview of the economics of.
Elon Musk issues a profound plea for the preservation of society, urging leaders and citizens alike to prioritize the creation of future generations.
And I think that past my.
He said, prioritize the creations of future generations. Yo, when I hear Elon Musk talk, I feel like, I don't know, like some type of invasion is gonna happen. Like they're gonna have us distracted thinking about aliens, while in reality it could be a goddess or a god over here that has come to, I don't know. Listen, man. Reliz, blessings, Reliz. How you doing this morning, yo? This is all crazy. But when I hear Elon Musk, man, it's just science. It's just science to me. Like everything is science. And science fails.
Biggest advice to leaders, to government leaders, and to the people in general would be to make sure to have children to create the new generation. And I think any incentive.
So now he's telling us to have more children. He's telling us to go ahead and procreate and make more kids. But they're telling us that the world is full, right? They're saying that the women in 2024 are having a hard time getting pregnant, but I'm in North Philly. I don't know how it is in your city, but in North Philly, listen, man, everywhere you look, there's a little teen or somebody in their 20s and 30s, even females in their 50s having kids. I'm saying him like, damn, you 55, almost 60, and you're just having a kid now? Like, damn.
That can be done to incent the new generation, to make it easier for women to have children and to support the children, I think would be very wise.
So over the years, politicians have given us a number of policies. We've had the war on poverty, the war on terror. None work, but at least cats not allowed to fly. But today, the Biden administration is giving us a new.
Yo, the way he's talking reminds me of this show called Sweet Tooth on Netflix. What is Biden giving us? Hold on.
Call it the unobservable facts.
We have to be very tough, and we have to respect our law enforcement, and we have to give them back authorization to act on our behalf. We have to. One of the things that I'm very proud of, and this was given through strength. Well, some of the most conservative people wanted it, but a lot of liberals wanted it too. And Tim was one of the people that really was pressing, and his voice is very important to me. Justice reform. We got that done, and a lot of the African-American population has never forgotten that. Opportunity zones. Tim came to see me about that. He said, I have an idea, and it's an idea that we've tested and all, but the problem is nobody could get it through. He came to me. I loved it.
Reflecting on America's tumultuous history, the panel grapples with the complex legacy of immigration, acknowledging both its benefits and pitfalls.
What does the majority of the country have in common with one another? Because look, if the arc of the last century's American history is super interesting. So you have.
He said the arc of the history, or is he trying to say we live in an arc? Like we on a boat now, and we gotta stay in the boat. Damn, I ain't know we riding boats now. Shit. But an ark is a big ass boat. He's saying we all in the ark. Shit. I'm about to jump off.
This massive influx of immigration, the Ellis Island generation, late 18th, 19th, early 20th century. And it's both good and bad. We only remember the good, but there was a...
He said early 20th century. Now, have any of y'all got to experience the 20th century? Because as far as I'm concerned, we skipped the goddamn century. We went from the 19th century to the 21st century. So y'all tell me, when did we experience the 20th century? This is supposed to be the 20th century. It's supposed to be. But allegedly, we're in the 21st century. That don't get y'all to think?
A lot of social volatility, like a lot.
Of the African American population has never forgotten that. Opportunity zones. Tim came to see me about that. He said, I have an idea, and it's an idea that we've tested and all, but the problem is nobody could get it through. He came to me. I loved it.
Reflecting on America's tumultuous history, the panel grapples with the complex legacy of immigration, acknowledging both its benefits and pitfalls.
What does the majority of the country have in common with one another? Because look, if the arc of the last century's American history is super, super interesting. So you have this massive influx of immigration, the Ellis Island generation, late 18th, 19th, early 20th century. And it's both good and bad. We only remember the good, but there was a lot of social volatility, like a lot. Like the mayor of Chicago got his house.
And he keeps saying was. Are we supposed to be in the 20th century or the 21st century, dude? Like, explain yourself to me right now, real quick. Nate, baby. Blesses, Nate. How you doing this morning, yo? Like, what in the world? Like, see, when I hear them talk like this, it makes me just ask more and more questions and do more and more research. Because I know we skipped a whole century. A whole damn century, right? They still say 20th century, but they talk about the 20th century like if it was in the past. And they say we live in the 21st century. When in the world did y'all, me, or anybody experience the 20th century? I mean, we should be living it now, right? Y'all talk like we live it now, but then talk about it in past terms. See why I ask questions?
Super interesting. So you have this massive influx of immigration, the Ellis Island generation, late 18th, 19th, early 20th century. And it's both good and bad. We only remember the good, but there was a lot of social volatility, like a lot. Like the mayor of Chicago got his house. It was on Wall Street. Like the Wobblies, the anarchists, like the foot soldiers that were immigrants, working class European immigrants. And part of the problem was there were just a lot of immigrants, and I mean, Sacco and Vanzetti, who the clerk in, is it Brockton, Mass? Anyway, it was in Mass, outside Boston. They'd been in the country for just a few years, and they immediately got sucked into radical politics. Well, why was that? Well, because they weren't kind of bought in or rooted in or hadn't been fully assimilated into American society. So then you have the First World War, and we basically shut down immigration, and we have this period of settling where, like, all Americans, let's think through our civic religion, what ties us together. And then that leads into October of 29. And you do have this national crisis last for more than a decade. And we had a successful, the CCC. We had these big programs, which I'll say this as a conservative, kind of worked in keeping people fed and focused, gave them purpose, kept the country from collapsing during the Great Depression.
Recalling the resilience of the American spirit during the Great Depression, the speakers stressed the importance of unity and purpose in times of crisis.
So are they trying to bring back whatever, rules, laws, and bills they had during the Great Depression? Are they trying to say that what they did back then worked? I mean, I'm just trying to put this together, yo.
Crisis.
So, say for me, I think I am objectively one of the world's leading environmentalists in terms of doing things.
I not say so.
Like I'm an environmentalist who does things. I'm of action, not talk. I act. So I feel I can say, as an environmentalist, that the environmentalist movement has gone too far. And in that, if you, in the natural extension of the environmentalist movement, if you go too far, you start to look at humanity as a bad thing. You start to look at humanity as though we are a plague on the surface of the earth, as though humanity is a bad thing. And in fact, there are some people who think and say explicitly that, in fact, there was on the front page of the New York Times, there was a guy who said there are 8 billion people on earth.
I just saw your comment. You can see Simpson W03. That's a fact. I mean, of course, it's the same thing. And because we're in 2024, right? We're supposed to be in the 20th century. We're not in 2124. We're in 2024. So why do they keep calling it the 21st century and then keep talking about the 20th century in term past? I mean, I know I'm not, so I'm glad that you said that, because I know I'm not the only one asking this type of questions. And like I said earlier, yep, facts is to keep us distracted, confused. For what though? We never know what's coming, but we know something's coming. I mean, I'm just speaking in general. Some of us do, some of us don't. That's crazy that somebody else, got the same way of thinking as I do. Like, we gotta ask these questions though. Like, this is like they're playing us right in front of our faces.
Earth, it would be better if there were none, which is crazy.
A freight train packed with illegal immigrants hurtles towards the border, symbolizing the relentless tide of immigration confronting the nation.
We're experiencing a major shift in our population and culture. New research shows 50 million people who live in this country right now weren't born here. They came here, millions of them illegally. And it exploded under Joe Biden. Look at this. We've always been a nation of immigrants, but never like this. In 1970, only...
So they admit that we're a nation of immigrants. Basically, a lot of people that are here weren't born here. So is everybody an immigrant? Like, what is an immigrant to them? I mean, let me stop all that. Let me ask this one question. What is an immigrant to them? What's an immigrant to them? Right?
$10 million immigrants lived in America. Today, it's 5 times that number. Come to America and vote blue. And they're streamlining it. This is the Migrant Express. Hundreds of illegals on a freight train heading right for the border.
Damn, he ain't lying on that part. They got this on YouTube, international news, and everything. Like, they showing us how they're crossing the border. While they show videos of Biden at the beach chilling with his family. Like, all the nigga need is a little Mary Jane in his hand and a little shot of liquor on the other one, which he probably does. Like, I don't know.
They call this train the Beast. The illegals strap on their native flags to the train as it cuts through the Mexican desert. But they're not just coming here by train. Biden's letting illegals fly into the country.
And they say Mexico only. Why they but Colombia, Brazil, Asia, Korea, and stuff like that, China, Japan. Why is he lying like that? So,
Joe Biden. Look at this. We've always been a nation of immigrants, but never like this. In 1970, only 10 million immigrants lived in America. Today, it's 5 times that number. Come to America and vote blue. And they're streamlining it. This is the Migrant Express. Hundreds of illegals on a freight train heading right for the border. They call this train the Beast. The illegals strap on their native flags to the train as it cuts through the Mexican desert. But they're not just coming here by train. Biden's letting illegals fly into the country also. Remember Biden's broken app illegals used to cross the border on foot? Now they can use it while they're in the air. Biden let 200,000 illegals fly into American airports from Venezuela, Haiti, Cuba, Nicaragua.
So since they're not crossing the border, right, or coming through the waters, they're not wetbacks no more. What they dry backs now because they coming through the air? Like, what the fuck type time they in, yo? Like, yo, they make no sense. Like, they making a whole comedy show out of this.
App illegals used to cross the border on foot. Now they can use it while they're in the air. Biden let 200,000 illegals fly into American airports from Venezuela, Haiti, Cuba, and Nicaragua. They can just check in on the app from the sky. These are secret flights. We wouldn't know about it if it wasn't for a FOIA, and we still don't know where they landed. But at this rate, every big city and small town will get the New York treatment.
How you don't know where one of your planes land as the government? The government know where all their planes land. Man, y'all really, oh my God. Go watch this show called Person of Interest. I don't know if they still got it on Netflix. If they don't got it on Netflix, they might have it on Tubi. They might have it on Prime. They might, listen, the show is out there. Trust me. I've seen it on every app. They just, take it off, put it back on, take it off. Go watch that show, Person of Interest with Taraji P. Henson, y'all. It talks about the God's eye and much more. Man, these people, I don't got my disclaimer right now, so shh, Rachel, shh.
Transformation to appease the illegals and their protectors. A black market economy run by giant corporations hiring illegals to deliver their food, work the factories, and pick the crops. Oh, and the CIA is in it as well.
Admitting.
He said pick the crop, though. Oh, so basically they're going to be the new slaves. He said pick the crop, though? Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm just trying to make sure I heard the bull right.
Treatment, complete transformation to appease the illegals and their protectors. A black market economy run by giant corporations hiring illegals to deliver their food, work the factories, and pick the crops.
Wow. Oh shit.
And the CIA is in it as well.
He said the CIA. See? And they're saying this is the reason why they take away they took away, they retracted the Sherry doctrine law. Allegedly, we're not supposed to be dealing with no more CIAs, no more feds, no more DHS, which, CPS, as y'all call them. I mean, we're not supposed to be dealing with the bullshit that they was giving us no more. I mean, I did a live on that. So if y'all missed it, make sure y'all go check it out. It explains a little bit more about that Chevy doctrine law.
Admitting past mistakes proves difficult, as the consequences loom large and implicate the collective consciousness of the nation.
What we're going to do, number one, we'll have a lot of cash, but that doesn't mean he can take it. I mean, you know what he did? I think he looked at my cash and he said, well, we'll take all of his cash. This is all coming out of the White House. This is everything that you see, whether it's that one or the DA. In the DA's office, in Bragg's office, he has his top people from the DOJ working in the district attorney's office in New York. Nobody knows that. Everything is coming out. This is all election interference. They're trying to damage me so they can win another election.
Congress's persistence in perpetuating conflicts, despite diminishing prospects of victory, raises troubling questions about political motives and priorities.
If I rear-end your car and crease your bumper, I'm happy to jump out and say, I'm sorry, I can't believe I did that. But if I were to say invade under false pretenses and million people and spend $1 trillion of your dollars doing it, I wouldn't say a word. I would never admit that was a bad idea. I couldn't. It implicates me too profoundly. The same goes for if I say locked your kids inside for a year and their brains and prevented them from getting an education, or if I say forced you to take a vax that didn't work that very well might have hurt you. I could never admit that I did that. I just couldn't.
Oh, so he dry snitching on everybody right now. He's saying that they lie. They have to lie to protect their asses, because if not, it's curtains, right? Let's just break it down like that, right? Maybe I heard him wrong. He's saying I couldn't admit it. Because why? You can get in trouble because you know that what you did it consciously.
Because if I admitted it, I'd have to suffer the consequences.
I just
Something
said
very
that.
much like that is happening with the which has been in progress now for almost 2 years. We were told at the beginning that our support would allow you to beat Russia and keep Russia from invading the rest of Europe or something. Well, almost 2 years in, none of that has turned out to be true. It's not going to beat Russia. The only person who's been beaten in this is the United States. The U.S. is weaker, measurably weaker, because of our support. And that's just true. The verdict is in. And honest, rational people admit that, no matter what their previous position. But the Biden administration cannot admit that, and neither can the US Congress. And so now there is, believe it or not, an effort in progress to get the US government to send another $60-odd billion to the oligarchs. So another.
What in the world are the oligarchs? I'm about to go research that, because it seems every time he says the US, they like censor him. He says WAR, he gets censored. So what he just said, I'm about to go do my research. And like always, as soon as I finish doing my research, I will upload the video, because I gotta figure out what is that.
Generation of men, this one probably in their 50s, can in a pointless on. They're not going to win, but the US Congress would like to keep this conflict going anyway.
This is not something you should import from America. Please don't import the woke mind virus. It's bad. So wait,
he said don't import the woke mind viruses. So he's telling us to stay shut. Yo, Elon Musk, yo, man, I'm telling you, him and Bill Gates, them two together, they're like evil scientists. People love them and admire them. Yo, people give them the power. They really do.
I mean, essentially, that, to summarize maybe the woke mind virus, it consists of creating very divisive identity politics. So it actually amplifies woke mind virus, in my view, amplifies racism, amplifies, frankly, and all the.
They saying that all of us that are woke got something called a woke virus. So be careful, all right? Shit, I got Mary Jane. Stay away from me. I advise you. I'm highly toxic right now. Shit, what the fuck?
The isms. And while claiming to do the opposite, it actually divides people and makes them sort of hate each other, and it makes people hate themselves. And it's also.
Wow, so being woke makes us hate each other. Is Elon Musk okay? I think his mama dropped him a little too hard in the head.
So anti-meritocratic. It's not merit-based. So you want to have people succeed based on how hard they work and the talents, not who they are, whether they're man, woman, what race or gender, that stuff is all creating, it's an artificial mental civil.
So wanting to work better than myself, wanting to be better than myself yesterday, that is creating war, because I'm telling the next person not to fight themselves, not to fight themselves, not to fight each other, not to fight, man, why is me and you fighting? If anything, I'm not trying to fight you. I'm sitting here fighting the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror, trying to become a better person than I was yesterday. I don't want to fight you. I don't give a fuck if we got the same skills. We could sit here and still make bread at the table. But if you don't like me, listen, look, the door's right there. Just make sure the doorknob doesn't hit you with a good Lord split you. It's that easy. People create war. And see, stuff like this, what he's saying, is what creates the war. Like, man, y'all, I could barely break this down, but I will hurt a couple feelings. And I'm not talking about the people that are on my chat. I'm not thinking about the people that are positive. I'm not talking about the people that are free thinkers. None of that. I'm just talking about the people that get in their emotions and just think that whatever people say is about them. Like, no, I don't even know you. Like, I didn't even know that you felt like that. So it's kind of like awkward that I'm just talking in general and a motherfucker thinks, oh, it's about them. Like, no, okay, you're weird. Like, bye. Bye, Felicia.
That is created. And it's not, and let me say, it's no fun. Okay. It is like woke mind virus and fun are incompatible. It is no fun.
Wait. So being woke is not fun? Yo, he's calling us stupid. Papa Duck, can you make a song for him? You got one for Bill Gates. Now one for Elon Musk, please. Tom McDonald, one of y'all two. Shit. I'm gonna make one. You know what? Yep. I'm about to get in my bag. I'm about to write something for you, Elon Musk.
No joy. Woke mind virus is all about condemning people instead of celebrating people. Like when in the woke, it just doesn't celebrate. It's all about condemning and being divisive and being just, I think it's just evil, frankly.
The border's porousness and inflation's stubborn grip epitomize the nation's challenge.
Yeah, but isn't he a free thinker? He's saying that woke people are evil, but nigga, you a free thinker too. Yo, man, realist, not just his face is weird. The nigga think weird. He is weird. He's one of those evil scientists that, want to experiment on people. I want to see, how the good people do, how the bad people do. Now let's put y'all in the cage. I want to see which one is Pinky and which one is Brain. The hell?
Testing the resilience of its institutions and economy.
We have a border that works less than breath mint. Inflation more stubborn than a mule trying to learn breakdancing. And a wave that makes the purge look like Bible study with Shannon Bream. So by what metric does Team Biden think all of this is working? What the White House calls their major policy initiatives, the rest of us call ideas going over like a full diaper on a packed flight. They're peeing on your foot and telling you it's raining, which is why I stopped showering with Kudlow.
Wait.
Yeah, does it?
Wait. I get it's a joke, but did he just throw a rainbow shot in there? Oh, he threw a shot at the rainbow. Rainbows.
Anyone see evidence of a course correction? A willingness to maybe switch it up a bit? Nope. But we're at a point that we have to ask ourselves, are all these outcomes by design? Now, I'm no conspiracy theorist, although I'm this close to proving Bigfoot was on Epstein's Island. But clearly, when something isn't working and a group of theoretically intelligent people happily double down on it, there must be an explanation. And we have a few. One is the idea of fractal wrongness, the idea that your worldview is so wrong that you'll be wrong 100% of the time. This helps explain how people think letting out of jail will somehow make it safer.
The erosion of rights.
Oh, did he just admit that they're letting people out of jail? He just admitted that they're letting people out of jail. Man, see, people might have, let that shit go over their heads or thought, oh, he's just joking around. No, man, they speaking some facts in between this little roasting they doing and throwing shots. I'm telling y'all, listen, read in between the lines, y'all.
Rights and liberties under the guise of compassion and therapy alarms the panel, highlighting the insidious nature of encroaching authoritarianism.
So that's kind of more diabolical than what we've seen in previous generations, and it's much more effective in a committedly polite country like Canada, because you don't know that it's happening. And because...
Oh, wait a minute. Did he just throw a shot at Canada? He said it's more likely to happen in Canada because they're polite and they're less likely to know what's happening. He just said that people in Canada are dumb and they don't know what's happening because they're not woke. Peep the whole conversation. Now I'm breaking it to y'all so that y'all can understand, man. This is the hood version of shorty's hood version of what they're saying. Like, literally, like if you was to break it down, no matter what you say, he just threw a shot at Canada and saying that they're not woke. I mean, I don't know. I know a lot of people from Canada and I know they woke. They not sleep. They know what's going on, not just there, but over here. Damn. I don't know. Like, what is they doing?
Of us call ideas going over like a full diaper on a packed flight. They're peeing on your foot and telling you it's raining, which is why I stopped showering with Kudlow. Yeah, does it?
Yeah, see, I didn't know Simpson was from there, but I know I'm not tripping. I know people from Canada. I didn't know that Simpson was from Canada. I don't know Simpson. Trust me, I don't know if Simpson is a miss or a mister, but I just know some people from Canada and they're woke. And he's trying to say that they're not woke. And that's why things are happening. Like, yo, bull tripping. Shout out to Simpson. I didn't know that he or she. I mean, can you please let me know if you're he or she? I'm so sorry. I don't want to keep saying he or she. But Simpson is from Canada, though. Like, shout out to Simpson, yo. See? the news lie. It's the media. It's the media. Media talk shit, yo. All right, Mr. Simpson. There you go. This is crazy. That's fucked up, man. That is real fucked up, man. Because I know a lot of people from a lot of different places.
Does anyone see evidence of a course correction? A willingness to maybe switch it up a bit? Nope. But we're at a point that we have to ask ourselves, are all these outcomes by design? Now, I'm no conspiracy theorist, although I'm this close to proving Bigfoot was on Epstein's island. But clearly, when something isn't working and a group of theoretically intelligent people happily double down on it, there must be an explanation. And we have a few. One is the idea of fractal wrongness, the idea that your worldview is so wrong that you'll be wrong 100% of the time. This helps explain how people think letting out of jail will somehow make us safer.
The erosion of rights and liberties under the guise of compassion
Now,
and
what they
therapy
say
alarms the panel, highlighting the insidious nature of encroaching authoritarianism.
So that's kind of more diabolical than what we've seen in previous generations, and it's much more effective in a committedly polite country like Canada, because you don't know that it's happening. And
Ain't that some shit?
A demagogue like that, or your completely bizarre, cross-dressing prime minister, it's true. Prime Minister blackface.
Wow.
I didn't wear blackface. He did. He 3 times. Thank you. 3 times. And I want to thank you for your commitment to the facts. The prime minister, right? The prime minister. There on your rights, which is an on you and your children, is cloaked in the language of therapy, self-help, and compassion. You're doing this for the common good. Don't you care about the elderly?
What the
And of
fuck?
course, being a decent person, you care very deeply about the elderly and the weakest in your society, of course. So what you don't realize is you shuffle off to abandon another God-given right to a totalitarian government is that this is not being done on behalf of a marginalized group or the weakest among us or the elderly. They hijack the language of the gospel to crush the gospel. That's exactly what they're doing.
People ask me the question, and we're going to have inexpensive energy. That's going to help us get rid of this horrible inflation. You know, he really had 38% inflation. If you look at it over his term, it's 38%. Anybody that made anything, it doesn't matter because the inflation was greater than whatever they made. We're going to get prices down. We're going to bring this country back, but we're going to make America great again, greater than ever before, and we can still do it.
In a poignant reminder of parental duty, the
No, this
speakers
is
emphasize the sacred obligation to safeguard the future for our children, invoking a primal instinct for protection.
People who are trying to your children are not your friend.
Like you?
They're your sworn enemy. Is there another way to interpret that? Am I being crazy? I don't think that I am. And in less developed countries, this would be very obvious. Go try that in Burkina Faso. I'm serious. Show up in Ouagadougou next week with a briefcase full of phones. I'm going to pass this out to the neighborhood kids, but I'm not going to tell the parents. Those would be your last words. You would be ripped apart. You're coming to kill my children? No. They don't even have electricity in parts of Burkina Faso, but they have a gut-level sense that your primary duty on this earth is to protect your children.
Cheated on the election, but you have people that are very...
Yo, what the fuck is going on? This man is sounding crazy. Like he's coming in every city, every county, every country.
They're smart, but they're fascists and they're radical left lunatics and they're destroying our country.
So big picture, the rest of us for decades now have been bullied into allowing the dumbest and most corrupt among us to run everything.
The truth is that they weren't aware of what was going on.
Trump's words resonate with urgency as he condemns the unraveling state of the nation, warning that the very foundation of our country is under threat of destruction.
It's about our system and whether we should allow a small number of partisans to burn it to the ground for the sake of winning a presidential election.
So who's
An
burning?
American car going to China. Think.
So who's burning America down to the ground? Both presidents, one president. Like, what was his whole purpose? I'm a little confused, especially with him speaking so demonic. Like, I felt like I was listening to an evil spirit. No, not a spirit, a demon.
Look at that. Pays 25% import duty. So we send our car over there, pay 25%. They send their car over here, 2.5%. 10 points, that's from Elon, but everybody knows it. They've known it for years. They never did anything about it. It's got to change.
Trump's allegations of corruption loom large as he denounces the potential seizure of NYC properties, decrying the actions of a nefarious group of individuals.
You can have a system that nobody actually supports except the people directly.
Did he say that Elon's behind that? Hold on. I swear he said that Elon is behind all that. What would Elon Musk have to do with, the taxes of our city, our country?
A presidential election.
An American car going to China. Think of that. Pays 25% import duty. So we send our car over there, pay 25%. They send their car over here, 2.5%. 10 points, that's from Elon, but everybody knows it. They've known it for years. They never did anything about it. It's got to change.
Trump's allegations of corruption loom large as he denounces the potential seizure of NYC properties, decrying the actions of a nefarious group of individuals.
You can have a system that nobody actually supports except the people directly benefiting from it. This is the main thing I've learned in the past 5 years that I'm 54, I've lived in this country my whole life. And because I, unlike everyone else in Washington, actually kind of believed in the basic premise of democracy, which is the majority rules, that's the most basic fact of democracy. The people run their own government.
Yeah. So why aren't we running it now? It seems like y'all running it, or nobody's running it the way things are going.
So then basically sort of a fatalistic resignation helped me sleep at night because I was having trouble sleeping at night because of AI danger. Now, what to do about it? I mean, I've been the biggest.
Yo, it messes me up how the man once feared AI, robots, and all that, but now he's the reason why America is about to make everything smart. Smart houses, smart TVs, smartphones, smart cars. But did y'all watch that movie called Leave the World Behind? If y'all haven't, let me just spoil alert one thing real quick right now. We'll spoil one little thing for y'all, right? There's a little part in that movie where they show all the cars, right, driving on their own. Them damn cars can get controlled by somebody, whoever the fuck company it got sold from, I guess. Like, I don't trust them things. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and live in a smart house knowing that another person can sit here and control my house. I'm good.
The one banging the drum the hardest, by far the longest, or at least one of the longest for AI danger. And these regulatory things that are happening, the single biggest reason they're happening is because of me.
The Fox presenter sheds light on the divisive narrative that vilifies the founding fathers, casting blame on white men and sowing seeds of discord among new immigrants.
Well, the problem, Brian, is that the original allegations are really fading away because more serious problems are now mounting. If they committed perjury, if they filed false statements in court, they could face personal charges. They could be referred to the bar. I mean, the stakes are very high here.
Do you have a preference in, assuming you're the Republican nominee and all goes as you plan it to go, do you have a preference in who you run against?
In many ways, I'd love to run against him because his record's so bad. It's still horrible when you look at inflation and everything else, but others also have very bad records. I mean, California's a bad record, so, should it be Gavin or should it be somebody else? When I look at San Francisco, what's happened to that incredible city? That was one of the greatest cities in the world just a short while ago, and now it's very sad when you look at it, Los Angeles.
Hey,
Every city,
yo,
practically,
Trump funny as
all the
shit.
Democrat-run cities. You know, Republican-run cities are doing very nicely because they arrest people when you have, and they don't go after political candidates because they think it's good. You know, I mean, it's like been amazing. My poll numbers are the highest I've ever had, but because people understand it.
Well, can I just ask you, that
Yes.
gets back to my original question. So if the protest didn't work, you got elected anyway.
Yeah.
Impeachment didn't work twice, obviously.
That's true. Yo, they tried to impeach this man 2 times and they failed. Like, why are they attacking this man so hard? Like, let's push everything to the side and let's try to figure out, like, is it the enemies or is it his own government that he's sitting here to run for president for that is turning against him? Did he speak too much and his own government is mad at him? Shit, we known to be the biggest bullies in the United States. Not us, but the United States is known to be the biggest bully. So let me, rephrase that.
Indictment is not working. Your poll numbers go up. When they raided Mar-a-Lago in August of last year, your numbers went up. They can indict you 20 times and you're not gonna lose the Republican primary because of that.
Well,
So,
it
like,
makes it look even more ridiculous. I mean, the 4 indictments, and maybe there'll be more. I don't know. These people are crazy.
But they're counterproductive. So if you chart it out, it's an escalation, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So what's next after, try to put you in prison for the rest of your life? That's not working. So like, don't they have to kill you now?
I think the people of our country don't get enough credit for how smart they are. And I'm not sure I would have said this 10 years ago, but they get it. They really get it. When somebody gets indicted, your poll numbers go down. When somebody gets indicted, you announce, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be leaving to spend time with my family and to fight for the rest of my life on this stuff.
The Fox presenter unveils a grim reality as he reveals the staggering toll of drug addiction, a crisis fueled by an open border policy under the Biden administration.
So if you have a system that calls itself democratic, where the people with power prevent the population from choosing certain people to lead them, then you have, by definition, a system that is not a democracy. Again, by definition, we don't need to debate that. This is not something that we have encountered in the course of American history until this election cycle, when you have the frontrunner on the Republican side, in fact, the frontrunner overall, the man who, all things being equal, will be the next president, Donald Trump, invalidated from running for office in certain states. And that's the product of a longstanding effort by permanent Washington to prevent him from running and prevent voters from voting for him. And they're doing that through the courts, as they so often do. Donald Trump is now fighting nearly 100 charges across the United States, for which, if convicted, he would spend the rest of his life in prison. Now, the first thing to know about these charges is they're not what you were promised. You were told for 4 years that Donald Trump was a world historic. And you might have sort of started to suspect that maybe there was some truth in that. Maybe he killed a building inspector in New Jersey in 1975, and the remains would be discovered in the Meadowlands, and you like Trump, but you'd have to admit, yeah, he's kind of. But that's not at all what happened. The 100 charges that Donald Trump faces right now are, with no exception at all, ridiculous. They're picayune, piddling, minor, or they're just absurd and completely made up.
I think generally it would be a good idea to have some kind of AI regulatory agency. And you start off with a team that gathers insight to get a maximum understanding. And you have some proposed rulemaking. And then eventually you have regulations that are put in place. And this is something we have for everything that is a potential danger to the public.
Elon Musk emphasizes the need for regulatory oversight, likening it to a referee in a sports game, essential for ensuring fairness and integrity in technological advancements.
So I think, in my view, AI is more dangerous than and we regulate. You can't just go make in your backyard. I think we should have some kind of regulation with AI.
But there's a lot of other things on the table, and FARA is the most immediate. As you recall, John, when this plea bargain came down, the first reaction that some of us had was, where's FARA? I mean, the Hunter Biden's role as a foreign agent is all over these emails. I don't even understand why there's an ongoing investigation. With Paul Manafort, they had him at hello. When he came in, they said, here's your FARA charge. With Hunter Biden, the Department of Justice is still noodling on this, which leaves a lot of us confused. But
that's a fact. Allegedly, he's, they're doing that trial, that Supreme Court trial now, but they're also doing it on Trump. I'm a little confused on all this. In fact, Simpson, all Elon keep mentioning is AI. Everything is AI to him. Like, that man went from being scared of robots to being the reason why, a lot of technology is being created right now, allegedly.
now you're going to have some rather interesting times ahead. He doesn't have protection on the tax issues. He just pled not guilty. And Congress is moving ahead with a potential impeachment inquiry.
Trump laments their version of America's standing on the world stage, lamenting a decline in respect and influence unprecedented in our nation's history.
We go through the Panama Canal, we built it, and we gave it away for $1. Think of that. How stupid are we? We have done the stupidest things in this country. And now we have a president that can't put two sentences together, can't speak, can't walk, can't talk. I don't think he gets to the starting gate, but these people do miracles. I mean, he ran out of his basement.
Yo, I think Trump really doesn't like Biden because he stays roasting the crap out of Biden.
And you got away with that one because so he sort of got away with it, with the all-electric cars and the windmills all over the place, which, by the way, don't work. And they're all, most of them made in China. For the most part, they're made in China. Germany a little bit, but China. But you look at what's happening to our country, even no voter ID. I mean, why don't they want voter ID? There's only one reason they don't want voter ID, because they want to cheat. Because who doesn't want, the Democrat convention, the last one, they had voter ID that was this big. It looked like a prison card. This big on their chest. You walked in, they had your picture, your this, your fingerprint, they had everything. The most incredible voter ID I've ever seen. That was to get into the Democrat National Convention. But to get into vote, if you buy groceries, if you buy practically anything now, you have ID on a card, credit cards or otherwise.
But don't you think it's racist to have to show your ID?
Well, they probably say that. They use anything not to show ID because voter ID is pretty simple. And we could go back, and we should go back to all paper ballots, voter ID, same-day voting. France did it. France had mail-in ballots, and it was terrible.
Reflecting on historical crisis.
Wait, so if the mail-in ballots was terrible in France, why would you want that here in the United States? I'm a little confused. That's what I'm saying. Like, man, Trump is a businessman to me. He used to be a celebrity. Like from a celebrity to a president. I mean, I'm not so sure. Business-wise, yeah, can he get the business done? Yeah, but as the president, right? I don't know. What do y'all think? To me, like I tell people, I don't have a president until we have a president. It's for us, the people. It is really for us, the people.
Trump draws parallels to the Great Depression, highlighting the success of past programs like the CCC in preserving national stability.
So this is the moment when it's important to remember that the United States is a great country. It's the most powerful country in the history of the world. It's got hundreds of millions of really decent, hardworking, honest people living in it. And so you have to ask, why is it run by people like that? Transparent morons who are corrupt and arrogant, who are mismanaging everything. Like, why do we allow that? Why do we allow that? Good question. Meanwhile, over in the state of New York, Donald Trump was just ordered to pay $350 million for the of taking loans from banks for real estate deals and paying back those loans. No actual fraud here. He paid back the loans. These are huge banks, some of the biggest banks in the world. They were happy with the terms, but the state of New York is not happy.
I would prefer to, personally, I would prefer to live in interesting times. And we live in the most interesting of times. I think for a while there, I was like really getting demotivated and losing sleep over the threat of AI danger. And then I finally sort of became fatalistic about it and said, well, even if I knew it was certain, would I choose to be alive at that time or not? And I said I probably would choose to be alive at that time because it's the most interesting thing, even if there's nothing I could do about it.
Amidst economic comparisons, the Fox presenter
Elon talking about the Matrix and Terminator, like that's what it looked like. Like, yo, this man
poses a provocative question. challenging perceptions of prosperity under different administrations.
We now have 6 different lawsuits. Now I like lawyers. What? And I hate to like lawyers. That's like when someone gives you a veggie burger and it kind of tastes good. And you're like, what happened? Grisham might have just given New Mexico to Trump. You know, I mean, this was such a misstep. Again, it's another case where the Democrats, who often confuse the Republicans and libertarians and everybody else of doing things that they do. In this case, it was like stealing your rights. They're actually guilty of. You see that with the First Amendment, banning books, speech, it's progressives. The Second Amendment here, your rights to living a life as a parent, it's all coming from the progressives. So again, the so-called constitutional crisis that you keep hearing about on the right is an illusion, but on the left, it's a reality, which is why I always salute Tulsi for leaving the party. And it's really important because you can tell all the people that are kind of moving away from there are getting targeted, whether it's Tulsi or RFK Jr. or Russell Brand. Did you see Russell Brand talking about Trump the other day? That was insane. You have other great people out there, Elon Musk, Joe Rogan. They're all being targeted because they realize that their rights are being encroached upon.
Trump's lament over America's energy
so they're trying to say all those people are what? Biden's enemies, even Elon? Oh, shit.
Dependence underscores a stark reversal of fortunes, from energy independence to reliance on foreign sources in a matter of years.
That's a that should end immediately, not because of one side or the other, because hundreds of thousands of people are being. Can you imagine you're in an apartment house and rockets are going into that building and it up and knocking it down? And who can, why should anything, why should anybody, human beings, is a human, whether they're Russian or whatever they are.
Musk envisions a pivotal moment in history as he underscores the significance of the meeting, foreseeing its potential to shape the trajectory of civilization.
The reason I am the reason OpenAI exists.
How much money did you give?
I'm not sure the exact number, but it's some number on the order of $50 million. Man, fate loves irony next level. So I used to be close friends with Larry Page, and I would stay at his house, and we'd have these conversations long into the evening about AI, and I would be constantly urging him to be careful about the danger of AI. And
so they got Elon Musk in here talking about the stuff that he's saying. What they're trying to say is that what Elon Musk and Trump are beefing. I mean, that's what it sounds like. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know what y'all got out of it, but damn, it seems like everybody. Trump got a lot of enemies, yo. A lot of enemies.
And he was really not concerned about the danger of AI and was quite cavalier about it. And at the time, Google, especially after their acquisition of DeepMind, had 3/4 of the world's AI talent. They had obviously a lot of computers and a lot of money. And then the final straw was Larry calling me a speciesist.
Right? So I'm confused. It's probably the way the bull put this together. But everything they're saying is kind of like they're against the United States. And it basically is like, all right, we just want to make this all smart. Like they want to make us like China. That could probably be the reason why Trump keeps mentioning China. China this, China that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Man, y'all more than welcome, to give y'all opinions. Like, hey, opinions, you're never wrong with them. Like, you never know. Shit. The way, you think of it could maybe probably have me thinking a whole nother way than what I'm thinking. Doesn't mean that I'm going to think exactly like you. But shit. I don't know. But she is right. A lot of people just endorsed Trump. 50 Cent endorsed him. The leader of the Black Panthers endorsed him. A lot of people just endorsed Trump. A lot. So, see how he's right back to questions.
For being pro-human consciousness instead of machine consciousness. And I'm like, well, yes, I guess I am. I am a speciesist.
And I hate to believe that that's true in this country, but all the evidence suggests that it is. In fact, it's provable. You know how you prove it? Public opinion polling. Take a look at the latest Gallup poll. Pick a poll. What are the top 10 issues for people in the United States? And then compare those to the priorities of your leaders. So people are leaving.
Is that what Trump was trying to show us when he got shot?
Michigan because it's very hard to make a living here, and you're constantly hassled by a government that never stops growing and that is leeching off an economy that hasn't grown in decades, okay? That's the truth. Take a look at the priorities of the low IQ lunatic who's running your state, Gretchen Whitmer, who deserves zero respect, no respect. Her priorities are what? Putting you in jail if you, quote, misgender somebody? What percentage of the population of the state of Michigan, even southeastern Michigan, is on board with that as a top concern? It's like roughly around 0.1%, okay, in that range. The things that people care about, Gretchen Whitmer couldn't care less about because democracy isn't functioning.
Huh. Damn, all right. So that was a little put together. Former U.S. sniper made huge announcement. So I don't know what y'all got out of that, but I wanted to bring it to y'all so that y'all can see it. Where is... All right. So let's move on to the next video that I got here on Trump. This guy says he has everything that we know about Trump. But this is basically about the shooter. I should have did this one first. Hey, but I'm doing it now. So let's hear what he got to say and let us shorty know what y'all think.
Take a look at what happened.
It is a horrifying and tragic crime that will go down in American history. The apparent attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump that left 1 dead, 2 injured. What we know about this reported shooter and how on earth could this have happened? We bring on law enforcement expert and former sheriff's deputy and SWAT team member, Chad Ayers. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. This shouldn't come as a surprise, but we don't cover political stories here on Sidebar. We get enough of that on the news, right? We talk about crime stories that are capturing the nation's attention, those that...
Yes, that's what's making me react to it. Because Law and Crime doesn't react to politics, but they reacted to the Trump story, yo. That John threw me off guard.
You might not know about, but you should know about, those that have important legal angles. However, when you have a crime, a violent act that intersects with politics, how could we not discuss it here on Sidebar? What am I talking about? That on Saturday, July 13th, 2024, a day that we will all ask ourselves in the years to come, where were you? Where were you when you found out and watched on TV the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump? It's terrifying. It was terrifying to watch. It is an image, a moment that will be emblazoned in everybody's memory. And authorities now say 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks opened fire during a Trump rally.
So for those of y'all that didn't, so a lot of y'all know, and probably seen videos. A lot of people haven't seen it, but this is allegedly the shooter. And that's why earlier in this live, I said, like, damn, what crossed through this young man's mind? Like, to sit here and, like, what was he going through? What was he thinking? What made him do it? Could he have been paid? What happened?
Butler, Pennsylvania.
Hey, did you know you might get a big cash payout if you were in a car accident in the last year? Yep, even if you were...
Take a look at...
Will be emblazoned in everybody's memory.
And then And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look what happened.
Yo, that was crazy. Now, my question to y'all is again, do y'all believe that it was fake? Do y'all believe it was real? I'm stuck in the middle. Me personally, because I know the world is this stage. I've seen so many plays being pulled off that I don't know. And, you know, this is right in front of us. So, like, I don't know how y'all feel. For me personally, yes, I am stuck kind of like in the middle. Like, if it was a play, like, why do it? Was it to, you know, get more votes? And if it was real, damn, man, like, prayers out his way, like, but I don't know. Something's missing. That's the best thing I can say. Something's missing in this puzzle. Bet, will do. Bet. Y'all see how slow the feds moved? The feds were moving slow. The feds, you hear me? The Secret Service. Trump said, "Power to the people." Go Trump. Go Trump. Yo, Trump around here walking like he. Yo, I'm telling you, Trump is out here walking like he rich homie Quan, feeling like 50 Cent. Many men wish death upon me, Lord.
He's on top of the roof. Don't go over there. He's on the roof, buddy.
He's dead. I just seen his hair go up. They shot his head. He's dead. Holy
And you could see Donald Trump recognize his ear had been hit. In photos and videos afterwards, you definitely see the damaged blood streaming down his face, him being covered by Secret Service agents. He gets up, fist to the crowd, mounting fight as he's escorted off the stage and into a car. Just an incredible sight to see. Honestly, I had chills in the back of my neck watching this unfold in real time. Crooks, the identified shooter, was shot and
Why does everybody keep saying they were shocked? You know, that they had chills going down their spine. They wasn't expecting me. I mean, wasn't expecting it that day. But y'all can't keep saying y'all were shocked when, you know, for years, I mean, for over 30 years already, you know, they've been saying that this was going to happen to Trump if he became president. And it's messed up is to say, like, a prediction that, you know, allegedly, as they say, a prediction coming true.
killed instantly by Secret Service sniper teams at the scene. Donald Trump told the New York Post that he's supposed to be dead and that a piece of his ear had been torn off. There's been a lot of talk about how close that bullet had come to his head. Now, as you might have heard on the audio of that incident where Trump says, "Let me get my shoes," he said Secret Service agents had hit him so hard that his shoes had fallen off, and he even said his shoes are tight. And aside, by the way, from the ominous visual of someone trying to kill a former president of the United States, this shooting had devastating consequences. 50-year-old firefighter Corey Compatore lost his life. Reporting indicates he was shielding his family when the gunfire erupted. He was trying to protect them. He was killed. An absolute true hero to the end. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro said Corey was a girl dad. Corey was a firefighter. Corey went to church every Sunday.
I ain't gonna lie. I cannot stand Josh Shapiro. I can't. I don't even know how he became governor. I was gonna say president.
Corey loved his community. Most especially, Corey loved his family. There were also two people who sustained critical injuries in this, 57-year-old David Dutch and 74-year-old James Copenhaver, although police indicated they are now in stable condition.
With the way everything is going, yo, I'm thinking the same thing, yo, for real, for real. I don't know, like, shit is crazy.
Thank goodness. The GoFundMe page, by the way, was set up for the victims, and I want you to hear this. Originally, they set a goal of $1 million. Almost $4 million has been reached, with over 52,000 donations. Unbelievable. The FBI is currently investigating this shooting, and what we know is that the shooter used an AR-style .556 rifle, reporting indicating that the firearm was purchased legally by Crook's father. It's unclear how he actually was able to obtain the gun, though. He was positioned about 130 to 150 yards away on a nearby roof, this seemingly outside of the perimeter of where this rally was taking place. The shooting, by the way, happened about 6 minutes into Donald Trump's speech. And after the shooting, law enforcement discovered, quote, rudimentary explosives in Crook's car. His car was parked near the rally, and this included an apparent IED and bomb-making materials at his home as well. As for Crooks, authorities are still looking into his background, what his apparent motive was for this. Crooks' high school classmate, Jason Kohler, 20.
Yo, so they saying they found bomb material in his basement. My thing is, what's taking the CIA and the Feds so long, right? They made it this far, and y'all telling me that nothing in his computers, nothing on his phone, all the interviews y'all did with students in his school, looking in his room, his parents' house, talking to the parents, y'all still haven't figured out why the young boy did this? Or y'all don't want to? I mean, I'm just asking.
Discovered, quote, rudimentary explosives in Crook's car. His car was parked near the rally, and this included an apparent IED, and also authorities found bomb-making materials at his home as well. As for Crooks, authorities are still looking into his background, what his apparent motive was for this. Crooks' high school classmate, Jason Kohler, 21 years old, told media that Crooks was a loner who was bullied so much in high school. He would wear hunting outfits. He would sit alone at lunch. He was just an outcast. And Kohler even said it's just honestly kind of sad. Hey, we're going to get back to this historic story in just a minute, but I want to thank one of our sponsors who helps make this show possible so we can analyze these stories for you.
You know what's the crazy? They keep saying boy. And at first they were saying it was a teen, right? I think it was. But he's 20 years old. He's a man. Not a little boy. He's a young adult.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Look, if you should find yourself in that position where you're hurt and you need legal representation, Morgan & Morgan may be who you want in your corner because they are specialists in this area. And they're so big because they win a lot. Verdicts and settlements in the multi-millions. They also make the process so easy for their clients because from starting your claim, uploading documents, to talking to your legal team, it can all be done from your smartphone. Also, this is a firm where there's no upfront fee. You only pay them if you win. So if you're injured, you can easily start a claim at forthepeople.com/LC-Sidebar. There's also reporting that he played chess, video games, was learning computer programming and coding. See sidebar. There's also reporting that he played chess, video games, was learning computer programming and coding. But here's something interesting. Another apparent classmate of Crooks, Jamison Myers, came out and told media that Crooks had tried out for the school's rifle team, but apparently didn't make the team because of how bad a shot he was. Wow. Now, there were a lot of odd things that are surrounding this shooting in terms of whether law enforcement or people at that rally had saw the suspected shooter before.
See, even the people that are doing the interviews and stuff like that are saying that stuff isn't adding up. Like, it's crazy. Even the media is having a hard time on this one.
Before he opened fire, how that roof wasn't secured, why the shooter wasn't neutralized earlier. Was there a miscommunication between local law enforcement and the Secret Service? Before we get into any of that, President Joe Biden delivered some remarks on Sunday regarding this shooting as well.
Yesterday's shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania calls on all of us to take a step back, take stock of where we are, how we go forward from here. Thankfully, former Trump is not seriously injured. I spoke with him last night. I'm grateful. He's doing well, and Jill and I keep him and his family in our prayers.
He said he spoke to him. So they actually had a conversation without roasting each other. That's odd. Is y'all friends behind the scenes, Biden and Trump? Just tell the truth.
We also extend our deepest condolences to the family of the victims who was killed. Corey was a husband, a father, a volunteer firefighter, a hero.
Blessings, Commander. How you doing this morning?
Sheltering his family from those bullets. We should all hold his family and all those injured in our prayers. A former president was shot, an American citizen killed, while simply exercising his freedom to support the candidate of his choosing. We cannot, we must not go down this road in America. There's no place in America for this kind of violence, or any violence for that matter. An assassination attempt is contrary to everything we stand for as a nation, everything. It's not who we are as a nation. It's not America. And we cannot allow this to happen. Unity is the most elusive goal of all, but nothing is important than that right now, unity.
Okay, so with all that in mind, let me bring in right now Chad Ayers, former sheriff's deputy, SWAT team member, founder of Proactive Response Group, and friend of the show. Chad, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming on. I can't believe what we're talking about. We knew you were coming in. We thought we would, talk about some story that was happening in the news. What were your thoughts as you were watching this? Because for me, it was one of the most surreal, scary experiences seeing it happen in real time.
You know what's crazy is I was getting oil changed in the car. Someone had alerted me, hey, the former president's just been shot.
Oh, so we telling each other where we was when Trump got shot. I was right here watching him live on my laptop. They had me waiting almost a whole, hour for him to do his speech. They had this whole music thingy on. So while he was, coming to do his speech, I probably watched a couple, YouTubers do their podcasting. Then he came live exactly for like 9 minutes. It wasn't less than 6. It was like he had a whole 9 minutes and some change speech. I did it on my first live when I spoke on it. Like a 9 minutes, some change speech. And then they escorted him out. But I was in my living room watching it.
And you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
But it immediately took me back to thinking about, you always hear people like our parents' age who knew where they were when JFK was assassinated. Right. The first thing that came was like, this is going to be the story. Immediately went home and started following this up to.
You know what's funny? When y'all go do your research on Trump, he's related to JFK and I think another president. And his history goes back, all the way back. Allegedly, he's related to Count Dracula. The prince, not the movie characters, not the cartoons, not what we know of Dracula. We're talking about Count Dracula, the prince.
To about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
I guess for me, a lot of failures.
You have a very unique background, and I wanted to talk to you about this. What stands out to you about this shooting? What were you looking at as the reporting was coming in? And we have a lot of
to the people.
To talk about what were you thinking about as the more details are coming to light and as is going on into the evening?
Jesse, I was a detail leader for a U.S. congressman for about 2 years. Yep. I've attended several of these rallies for the former president, and what goes into them, the background, the security, the advancement that goes into them, and to think that this happened. Obviously, what the first and foremost is an elevated position shot. How in the world did this happen? That's step number one on an advancement as you prepare for any type of these visits. In my law enforcement background, we had the opportunity to run 6 to 8 motorcades for current presidents, large events, worked hand in hand with the Secret Service, with the counter assault team, with their advanced team. I know that, the Secret Service has a zero fail mission. They were this damn close to losing that zero fail mission on Saturday. So just a lot of breakdown, I think, in communication.
Do you think that means?
That's a fact. So for the first time ever, the Secret Service had a miscommunication and almost had the president assassinated. Why did they react so slow? Why they had women shorter than Trump there. And I'm not saying that women shouldn't work in the Secret Service, but damn, at least get the tall women. Y'all had women that were a little taller than me. I'm 4'11". Trump is probably like 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", probably 6 feet. I don't know. I know I exaggerated with the 6 feet, but I only seen one man that was tall enough to probably cover Trump. But this shit was crazy. It's like this was a setup. It feels like it was a setup. And this is my opinion, and I'm entitled to it.
And I've seen reporting about this, that local law enforcement in Butler County was supposed to be maintaining the outside perimeter and communicating that to the Secret Service.
And let me rephrase that. It feels like it was a setup and it was staged. Or it could be separately. It could be just a setup or it could be just a stage. But I've been saying that, the world is a stage. The world is an illusion. So it's kind of like, what if, when the pows happened, right? He, when he fell down, he put that little blood baggy thingy in there. And what if he didn't and it was a real shot and that was his real blood? And then, if the shooter took the shot a couple centimeters to the side, it would have got him in the brain and he would have been gone. We could go about this in so many ways. Let us shorty know what y'all think.
That's something that could, and by the way, we're not placing blame here because we don't have the full idea about what happened. But if you talk about a breakdown in communication, there were multiple.
He's 6'3". What up, word? What's up? Blessings the word. He's 6'3". See, I was close. I didn't know. I thought I was exaggerating with the 6 feet part. But on some real shit, they needed more. They needed taller security guards. They should have put, facts like Commander said, they should have bought in the WNBA because the security women that were there, the Secret Service women that were there, were probably a little taller than me. And I keep saying I'm only 4'11". With shoes on, sneakers, I'm 5 feet. They give me the extra 2 inches.
Multiple agencies working together here. Is that something I would be totally off, that local law enforcement, there might have been a miscommunication there?
Well, no, I'm not sure if it was miscommunication. Obviously, at any of these type of events, you're going to solicit the local authorities for extra assets to have. But at the end of the day, it does come.
Like, peep that shit. Like, it's funny because when I saw the video, this short lady right here pushed this tall ass man over here to the side to cover Trump, and his head is still exposed. Then this man over here trying to put his hands up to try to cover him. It shows you even more how this lady got his face exposed. I mean, y'all supposed to take the bullet for the president. If another bullet came flying, it would have went over her head. Unless the shooter wasn't professional like the 20-year-old shooter that missed. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just talking. I'm just trying to put the pieces together to this puzzle.
Back to the United States Secret Service, right? I think that the shift, the detail that President Trump's detail did a phenomenal job on stage.
Right.
There is a very big issue, with whoever did the post assignments and the advancement. So I think that we are going to have to wait till this investigation is fully complete to truly grasp and understand. But at face, this can't happen. Whether it was local law enforcement, there are some reporting out there. Obviously,
I mean, they got a rag. The stains on it look red. I don't know.
the service will solicit, TSA to help with running magnetometers. I really think that it's going to come down to there was a manpower issue. And again, sources close to me have told me that they requested additional assets.
So the Secret Service and the FBI have been pushing back on this. Secret Service spokesperson Anthony Guglielmi says there's an untrue assertion that a member of the former president's team requested additional security resources and that those were rebuffed. And he said this is absolutely false. In fact, we added protective resources and technology and capabilities as part of the increased campaign travel tempo.
I mean, I think the word is probably right. Shout out to the word. They don't get a cream of the pork. It didn't seem he had a full detail. I mean, yeah. So I guess they're trying to cover it up now.
And he said, this is absolutely false. In fact, we added protective resources and technology and capabilities as part of the increased campaign travel tempo. And also the FBI came out and said the same thing. What do you make of that?
I think that there's going to be a lot of CYA during this investigation.
We know what that means.
Exactly.
What the heck is CYA? Anybody knows what CYA? Let us shorty know.
So obviously nobody in a situation like this, blame is going to be pushed on all different. Locals are going to blame the feds. Feds are going to blame the locals. At the end of the day, you've got to be able to work together. There's been events. Look, mistakes happen, not mistakes like this, where 150 yards away, you have a building. And again, I've been part of this. We would always, when you're sitting there having the background that I have in working with the Secret Service, you're always going to want to pull, drop large flags, pull 18-wheelers up, something that blocks the view of the stage where the man's going to be at.
Because that's a line of sight. That's a line of sight. And wouldn't that either be sweeped, right? They would do protective sweeps after, or at least when they have, and I believe their reporting indicates there were 4 sniper teams. There were 2 from the Secret Service, 2 from local law enforcement. They would keep an eye on those buildings, or are they looking more in the distance? Maybe they'd be looking further out and not necessarily something that's 100.
4 sniper teams? So what the hell was they looking at? What's crazy is earlier they were saying that they saw somebody that was going up the building, right? But they thought it was one of their own, but they didn't give them a clearance. So if y'all didn't give them a clearance, that's more than enough for y'all to go over there and find out why is this person going up with a sniper rifle to the roof, and find out if they really was one of your own instead of thinking if it was one of your own. Like, everything is off. The math ain't mathing in this situation, and the puzzles ain't getting put together right because there's something missing.
150 yards away.
No, so again, you would use your resources, and a lot of times with the counter sniper element, you would want to kind of transition from like a 180, and everyone's kind of 180 to your secondary team, the locals, right? And you're communicating with them. So you're going to have a spotter, someone on their binoculars that's kind of sweeping, and your other guys a lot of times on the rifle. So was there
Wait, who got to cover who ass? I mean, they got to cover their ass, or I got to cover my ass? Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. I don't know. Wait, I'm a little lost in the question, but I don't think I got to cover my ass. I probably said something wrong. I don't know. But they trying to cover their asses. Blesses, licking kisses. Blesses, how you doing this morning, yo?
Lackment or a miscommunication as to who was covering what. I don't know. I still think at the end of the day.
But they still said it. So why in the world did he say CYA? They're retarded, yo. And I'm slow. I'm super slow right now. Hey, Rachel and Chad. Blesses, licking kisses. I know, right? Something not mapping in this situation. Oh, we're gonna play Papa Duck after this. And then I'm gonna end the live because I'm tired. Listen, man, I'm a little old school on certain things. Like, I'm a cave woman. I'm definitely a loner. Like, the definition of a loner, that is what I am. I like being alone, even with kids. Listen, man, go watch a movie, go draw, read a book, something. But let me think. But I need to be alone to think.
That building comes into play. Should have never, you should have had post standards standing there. So was there, reports today is that law enforcement was there, that there was a law enforcement agencies or a law enforcement officer assigned to that building.
Right. And can we amplify that a little bit?
So if there was a law enforcer assigned to that building, where was the law enforcement at? Like, how was this kid, this young man, 20 years old, able to climb up that roof and try to aim at the president and miss?
But because there were reports that people saw this shooter beforehand. They saw a guy matching his description carrying a rifle. Others saw him actually scaling the roof, climbing up to the roof. Ben Macer told KDKA He saw the guy move from roof to roof. I told an officer, the alleged shooter, was on the roof. When I turned around to go back to where I was, it was when the gunshot started, and then it was just chaos, and we all came running away, and that was that. There is also reporting that a local police officer had confronted the shooter, that the shooter aimed the gun at the officer, and the officer backed away. And there's also been reporting that the shooter was seen by local law enforcement, and they said to watch out for him. But this was maybe not, but this was communicated to Secret Service. So you have a lot of different stories here about what happened, but I think a common theme could be he was in their sights, whichever way you want.
Man, they trying to cover their asses up. They trying to find a way to make this go away.
Use that before the shooting took
Somebody
place. I think
fucked
that's
up.
the concern here.
Right. The AP is reporting earlier on my way here to the studio that people had alerted them as he was trying to go through the magnetometers that, hey, this guy's acting weird. He's acting suspicious. They lost sight of him in the crowd, of that initial crowd. So I know that early on, something raised the suspicion of attendees to notify law enforcement. Where he
Send me the Simpson, send me the clip in the chat, and I'll open up the video, and I can stream it like that instead of me searching for it, and I'll do it because I already got all these videos set up. Wait, I'm gonna have to search for the video you're telling me. Just put the link in the chat, and I got you, and I'm gonna react to it.
he went to, we don't know. But again, there's so much technology out there. And again, obviously the service is not going to lay out their cards of all the technology and stuff they use for security purposes. And I respect that. But you know, when this report is released, it is going to be so interesting to figure out who was. And here's the problem: social media and all this stuff is putting out so much stuff, and that's why I've always said it's important that we wait till all the facts come. But the fact of the matter is, law enforcement was notified several minutes beforehand. Right. So where was that breakdown of communication? Of getting someone up there. The problem I have is I want to know this officer that confronted him on the roof. You know, was he on a ladder? If that's true, right? Did he climb the same ladder? How did this officer get up there? Did someone, you know, lift him up somehow? I would have some serious issues if a police officer scaled a ladder as a guy with a long gun. You know,
I think I found it. I mean, I'm not sure. When this is done, I'm gonna see if one of these are the videos that you're talking about. All right, I think I found it. I'm not sure, Simpson.
We've got a former president and a candidate about to take the stage, and you basically come back down.
And look, we have to be clear. Sniper teams took down this guy instantly after the shots were fired. There is a question of could they have taken him out beforehand? Now, talk to me about how much discretion sniper teams would have.
Wait a minute. How did they take him out beforehand? Beforehand would mean that they took him out before he shot Trump. So one of the Secret Service guys or somebody with the snipers accidentally shoot Trump trying to shoot the sniper. Hold up. See, the shit they say.
To take out a target in that environment if they see him in their sights before.
Right. So obviously there's, again, stuff circling around the internet that they asked for permission to take the shot. That is absolutely false. In this type of situation, they do not have to ask for any type of, authority to take a shot or utilize deadly force in this type of situation. When you are assigned and you've got a former president on there and someone is laying on the roof with a long gun, the first opportunity they have, they're going to take that. So again, I don't want to Monday morning quarterback or second this counter sniper unit. There's the possibility that maybe the angle and the slant of the roof, they couldn't get a visual on him until he got to a certain position. I have a feeling that's what's going to be, relayed once this report is put out. But let's be very careful to, start voicing our thoughts and opinions on this counter sniper unit till we know what they saw, you know, at that time.
And there's going to be a lot of conspiracy theories. It's going to
Already
happen.
is, right?
I mean, there already is. There were minutes after this was happening. There were conspiracy theories about what was happening. Like, is there any chance that they thought he might have been a member of law enforcement, might have been a member of the secrets? They just didn't know yet?
Absolutely not.
They would know. They would know immediately.
We do
This
briefings.
is a
I mean,
threat.
our briefings, there's, you know, and again, this is no secret. Obviously, you'll see the guys in their suits, the shift, they'll have pins on.
Yep.
There was a lot of miscommunication for this type of rally. There was they handled this whole situation unprofessional. If you know this is true, it was handled very unprofessionally.
We have to, you know, there's ways that we identify law enforcement, you know, even some of the undercover people that may be out there. You're never going to see someone just randomly climb up on top of a building in plain clothes, prone out with a long gun. It's just not going to happen.
I want to ask you about what's happening with the investigation. So the FBI is taking the lead in investigating this. According to Evan Lambert from News Nation, the FBI is looking into Crooks. They say he was a lone actor. They're working to access his cell phone. No mental health diagnosis issues at this point. Apparently his family is cooperating. They're processing DNA, weapons, fingerprints, the scene, digital evidence, social media. What are they doing right now? What is the FBI looking for by looking at all these different actions?
They're trying to put together evidence to see what made him do this, what he was thinking about. Was he, you know, planning this for a while? That's what they're looking for.
These different pieces of evidence.
And if he was planning it, trust me, they would find something. Unless he was somebody that got paid.
I think first and foremost, like you said, they're trying to rest assured that he was a lone actor.
Sure.
First, right? Because we don't want anyone else out there. Could this, you know, be could there have been a secondary person that just didn't commit, freaked out, possibly? But they're going to build a profile on Crooks to figure out, okay, we know where the gun came from, that it came from his father's, you know, what caused him. They're going to be looking internet history, things like that, really diving into a digital footprint to see, was he influenced by anyone? Was he in communication with any other people? What was his planning like? Because let's be honest, there's no way, Jesse, you're going to convince me that this guy, that Crooks woke up on Saturday and said, I know the rallies today, I'm just going to go. He did his homework.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be an interesting part.
Knew where to be positioned.
Knew where to be, exactly. So again, they're going to be pulling the digital data from that van that they've taken.
How will he know where they're going to be exactly if when they plan these rallies, the only people that know are the people that are with Trump and the Secret Service and the police details? I mean, this is sounding kind of like, could he have been alone? Could he have not have been alone? It's crazy.
The black box out of there, they're going to track his movements as far back as they can as to when he decided to do this.
And by the way, if I'm understanding it correctly, they didn't ID him on the spot. It wasn't like he was carrying his license. They had to ID him through DNA, right?
Correct. DNA and other biometric terms.
And that tells you something too, right? The fact that he wasn't apparently carrying any kind of identification. And I would also have to imagine, and I don't know, he had to have known he's going in there not going to be making it out.
100%. Obviously, you know, in my line of work, we talk about this a lot, you know, because we teach active shooter response, which thank God, understand this could have, you know, unfortunately we had another person that lost their life and two other ones that are fighting for their lives now as well. This could have turned out a whole lot worse too, as well as, and including not just the former president being shot, but a mass shooting in and of itself.
Absolutely.
Right. And these people that go into this, they know it's a one-way mission. They're not coming out. When you're laying on a roof, at an event that should be one of the most secured events there is, right? Some of the most powerful people in the world.
See, I just said that. It's supposed to be a real secured event. How that all these fails happened. How did this mishap happen? How that this 20-year-old know exactly where to go, where the president was going to be at and everything, unless somebody told him.
World, there's no chance you're going home.
How tough is that shot, by the way? 130, 150 yards away. I mean, again, it was what, centimeters away? Or I don't know if that's an accurate way of saying from his head, from former President Donald Trump's head. I mean, how tough is that shot?
You know, on the way here, I was asking my business partner, because they haven't released or maybe you can tell me what type of site he was using.
I don't think we know at this point.
So that's going to be an
Yeah.
interesting part, right?
Right.
If this guy was using iron sights, just stock iron sights,
That's tough.
and I mean, even for someone, but whether it was a red dot or some type of magnification, I could take Jesse. I could take you if you had no experience with the rifle. I could take you out in about 45 to 50 minutes. I could have you at that distance making those shots.
So it makes me wonder. So as they're also wondering about whether or not how we got access to the gun, practice, right? They would probably be looking at local gun ranges.
Because obviously, had he done his research on what that distance was,
Yeah.
a 5.56. I am not a ballistics expert or anything, but I know I can't even quote the maximum effective range of that. It's well past that.
Right.
Well, with him saying that, right? The young boy had to have taken his time to do his research, right? But how would he have known this? Who did he talk to inside that knew all this? Like, everything's kind of odd. Like,
well past that. So I'm sure that he knew at that distance, put it on, and if it drops an inch, it drops an inch.
Let's also just clarify this point. After the shots, the response, and I've seen criticism online about the way Secret Service agents were behaving, but the response from the sniper teams down to the agents, down to law enforcement, down to the military teams that were there, what did you make of that? Because for me, as an outsider looking in, it was very swift. And I think the criticism I've seen online about some of the agents is unwarranted and unfounded.
100%. Again, I think the United States Secret Service that day, the shift, the counter snipers, and his detail did an absolutely perfect job.
Yeah.
It's totally different being in that role.
you call perfect, first of all, letting somebody go up there on a roof, getting access to this man. Police officers arguing allegedly with the same man that went up the roof. How did this happen? Then his team didn't get there until probably like 2 minutes after he threw himself in the ground. They didn't get there that fast. It took them a little minute, like maybe a minute and some change.
Role versus being a cop.
Right.
And in law enforcement, we are trained to go towards the threat. Right. In that type of situation, no, it's not. You go to the man or woman, you go to your protectee, and we cover them.
That's
what they did. And you notice, obviously former President Trump
She said group hug.
and any type of dignitary president, they're going to go through training with the Secret Service. They're telling him what to do.
Yo, when somebody puts their fist up in the air like that, what does it mean to y'all? To me, it means power to the people, right? When you put your hand up like that. But a lot of people and a lot of reporters and in the media, they're saying that he was telling people to fight, to keep on fighting when he put his fist up like that. I mean, to me, it meant power to the people. Fight for the right things. Don't stop. Don't give up. But not fight like, yo, go ahead and start a riot or some shit. But that's how the media and a lot of people are making it seem. Like him putting his fist up like this meant go start the riots and fight. I mean, I thought that this had a different meaning than go and start a riot. But damn, they really twisting this up real bad in the media.
As well.
Right.
To get down so that it actually helped them on that aspect. Sure, you're getting all these people talking about they should have got him off the stage sooner or anything like that. You also hear the shooter's down.
Right.
So
That's how they
Monday morning quarterback, there could have been second shooter. There could have.
That's how they knew how to get up and move.
100%.
Right.
So why, they're at that point, I'm not saying time's on their hand, but I think they realized that there was no life-threatening injury to the, former president at that time. Do I think that could have gone a little bit quicker? Maybe. But again, it worked out.
They didn't
obviously
know if
when
there was a
they
second shooter, they didn't know if there was a second.
And you got to get the cars. You got to get your vehicles. His detail leader saying, "We got to get to the car, sir. We got to get to the car, sir."
Yeah.
But that was another thing. Communication. If you realize, it was really at one point it was limited to the president and his detail leader, his shift leader, because in a stressful situation, if you've got 4 or 5 people that are on top of you saying, "Get up, no, stay down," this. So he knew the shift leaders making those calls as to when we're going to move. You saw the 2 counter assault element guys, which is kind of their SWAT guys, providing that exterior cover, getting him to the car. Now, what's going to be interesting, and obviously a lot of people probably remember this from Reagan, is when the former president gets to the vehicles, again, his shift leader, his detail is going to then start a head-to-toe check because that's what happened to Reagan. They didn't realize Reagan had been shot until he gets in there and his agent found, he was rubbing down here and he said, "Oh, I think you laid on my rib." Well, Reagan starts coughing up blood. And that's when he realized, he's been shot. So again, there's protocols that are going to go in on the way to the hospital.
The profile of the shooter, anything there stand out to you? Were you shocked? I mean, even from the age to the background that we know so far?
Yeah, I think the age kind of sticks out a little bit.
I'm not sure, but I'll rewind it back for you.
So he knew the shift leaders making those calls as to when we're going to move. You saw the two counter assault element guys, which is kind of their SWAT guys, providing that exterior cover, getting him to the car. Now, what's going to be interesting, and obviously a lot of people probably remember this from Reagan, is when the former president gets to the vehicles, again, his shift leader, his detail is going to then start a head-to-toe check, because that's what happened to Reagan. They didn't realize Reagan had been shot until he gets in there and his agent found, he was rubbing down here and he said, "Oh, I think you laid on my rib." Well, Reagan starts coughing up blood. And that's when he realized, he's been shot. So again, there's protocols that are going to go in on the way to the hospital.
The profile of the shooter, anything there stand out to you? Were you shocked? I mean, even from the age to the background that we know so far?
Yeah, I think the age kind of sticks out a little bit. I feel like a lot of times after these types of mass shooting events,
This kid does not even look like he's 20. I mean, this young man. This young man look like he's 14, 15 years old. I'm not going to sit here and lie. He don't look like he just turned 20 at all. He look like a preteen.
Loner phrase sticks out. Is that just a go-to phrase that people use? I don't know. I think that, again, the investigation, as more people come forward, it's going to help build that profile. And the FBI obviously is the best at building profiles on people.
So do you agree that the FBI should be taking command of this?
I do.
Okay. And I mentioned what they might be looking into, but what resources did the FBI have that perhaps another agent?
I was getting ready to say, because I'm like, damn, they could have put up a recent picture of him, but they're going to put that one on. I was getting ready to say, he look like he's 14, 15. Like, he do not look like he's 20.
He doesn't have.
Especially, and again, I don't know much about that town that was in.
Yeah.
I can only assume, kind of small town vibe. So obviously the Bureau has so many more resources and the capability, especially we're talking about getting into the phones, right?
Right.
Especially iPhones. I mean, there's been so many cases. iPhones are very hard to get into. So there's nobody else I would want trying to get into the phones, getting to the computers. They have the FBI has the best experts on forensics, on, whether it's computer forensics, things like that.
Yeah.
That's who I want working this.
You talked about the report. I want to get to that because President Joe Biden has directed the U.S. Secret Service Director, Kimberly Cheadle, to review all security measures to see what happened. A statement from Director Cheadle reads in part, quote, "The Secret Service is working with all involved federal, state, and local agencies to understand what happened, how it happened, and how we can prevent an incident like this from ever taking place again. We understand the importance of the independent review announced by President Biden yesterday, and we will participate fully. We will also work with the appropriate congressional committees on any oversight action." What are your thoughts on that?
It needs to happen.
Yep.
I think the American people deserve to understand what took place on Saturday, and that way we can, in any type of event like this, we learn from them, right?
Right.
In a SWAT background, we would always debrief afterwards. And in fact, I asked a good friend of mine with the service, when he thought that the chef may have debriefed himself. He said at the hospital, when the former president was being checked out and evaluated, that group you saw surround him was probably in there debriefing, hey, what went right, what went wrong. And obviously there'll be a more formal, after action report and debrief, but it is important that the American people know what happened and prevent this from ever happening again.
The Department of Homeland Security.
How is the American people going to stop this from happening? When y'all do these rallies, it's something that y'all come up with amongst yourselves. Y'all set the dates, y'all do arrangements, everything. The American people ain't there. They're there afterwards.
And Congress, they're also looking into this. So when would we have some sort of independent report on what happened here?
I would not anticipate anything before 6 to 8 months at a minimum. This is not going to be a quick turnaround. There is so much to look at crime scene watch.
So he said, we're not going to find nothing out until 6 to 8 months. So it's going to take them a whole year to allegedly figure this out.
I mean, think how many people were there, Jesse. How many people are coming forward to interview and say they saw something?
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about thousands of people, thousands of, or hundreds, if not thousands of cell
Cracking
phone
the fuck
videos.
up. Simpson funny as hell.
That report's not even going to be touched until every one of those are downloaded, looked into, all that. I mean, you know, it could be upwards to a year before this report comes out.
Wow. Shocking. It was shocking to see. As you keep saying, you know, it is a terrible situation because we lost the life of, again, a father, a husband, somebody who was protecting his family's life. 2 people injured. President Trump was injured. And it could have been, despite all saying it could have been even worse. But thankfully it wasn't. So we saw this swift action from Secret Service and local law enforcement there as well. Clearly there were deficits, but again, could have been much worse. Chad Ayers, thank you so much, my friend, for coming in. Appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure.
All right, everybody, that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar.
All right, I don't know what y'all think and what y'all opinion. I mean, I got the opinions from the ones in the chat. Those of y'all that catch the replay, let us surely know what y'all think about the situation. Do y'all think it was real? Do y'all think it was fake? Based on everything that has been said, everything that is being said. I think it was Simpson, right? I went to Google. I'm trying to find the video that you're talking about. All right. It takes me to YouTube, right? But I'm not sure which one is the video because there's no 30-second videos here. That's why I say if you could drop me the link, because, you know, it takes a minute to find certain videos. So I'm not sure if I'm directed into the right place. Let me see. Yeah, like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a 17-minute video. It says Joe Biden shocked Trump with his 30 achievements for USA. Trump leaked audio recording, shocked everyone. This one's 20 minutes. Trump, America's first and only America first? What? I choose my son. Terrified Donald Trump going wild after Melania Trump reveals her deal. Yeah, I'm not sure. 1 minute ago, we did that video. U.S. watch Donald Trump's first speech as United States president. Trump makes first public appearance at RNC following assassination attempt. I can't put that video because they got music. I don't know what video that was. I saw it earlier. Let me see. All right, link. Simpson got a link now. If he could find the link and send it to a shorty, you could type in the chat, send some, and you'll see the difference now. I mean, I'm trying to find it. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna play this to see if Simpson could find me the video that he's talking about. Go to U.S. press time on YouTube. All right. All right. So Shorty got the video now. Talk about it. Donald Trump. All right. So I got the Tom McDonald right here, and now I got the press time over here. Got it. press time. Now, shout out to some yo, because I did have to put U.S. press time. That's what I had to put. Now, there's two videos, huh? Melania stuns with a statement for Trump after months of absence. Let's see what Melania Trump got to
From
say.
Melania Trump, she said, "When I watched that violent bullet strike my husband, Donald, I realized my life and Barron's life were on the brink of devastating change. I am grateful to the brave Secret Service agents and law enforcement officials who risked their own lives to protect my husband." Ivanka Trump, because she stayed by her father's side as he spent the night in his estate recovering. Tell us about their relationship. How close is Donald Trump to his daughter Ivanka?
Melania Trump finally breaks her silence on the attempted assassination of Donald Trump.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
In a shocking turn of events, former First Lady Melania Trump has broken her silence following the harrowing attempted assassination of her husband, Donald Trump, at a Pennsylvania rally. This dramatic incident has not only shaken the Trump family, but also sent ripples of concern and empathy across the nation. In a heartfelt statement, Melania described the horror of witnessing her husband being shot and the subsequent emotional turmoil.
So, all right, this might look like if I'm going to do a regular upload on this one, a regular reaction upload on this one. So I guess Melania has something to say. Shout out to Sim. Okay, it's the other video. Got you.
I want you to pay attention to this lady. Everything seems normal. I want you to pay attention to this lady. Everything seems normal.
All right, so before I keep playing it, all right, so this is on U.S. Press Times page. Let me sub up to them. Let me like it, because new details reveals Trump rally attack was staged. Oh, so, oh. Let's press play and listen. So I guess Papa Duck is not the only one suspects that this is a stage. When on part one of this, I got to edit and put the part two on here, saying that this is part two of my live. But on part one, I said it. Something, I don't know, something feels like something's not right. Something's off. Like, could they be paying the audience for both Biden and Trump? I mean, I asked the question, like, So I guess I'm not the only one that was thinking something was off.
I want you to pay attention to this lady. Everything seems normal.
Look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to...
And now she signals.
Take a look at what happened.
And now she is smiling. Everyone is in panic, but she takes her phone and starts recording. What is this? Let's discuss this all in the video. Does Trump stage this assassination? Unveiling the conspiracy theories surrounding the Pennsylvania rally incident. In the realm of American politics, conspiracy theories are nothing new. But when former President Donald Trump became the target...
I wish I could zoom this one in. So, I mean, I paused it there. That's the best I could pause it. I wish I could zoom into his ear. But do y'all think that's fake or real blood? I'm glad how he got a zoom on this, John, but I need to zoom it in some more.
Target of an apparent assassination attempt at a Pennsylvania rally. The word staged trended on social media within minutes. The incident sparked a firestorm of speculation, drawing comparisons to historical events and igniting debates across political spectrums. Could it be that the attack was a meticulously crafted ploy for sympathy, or was it a genuine threat? Let's dive deep into the details and unravel the layers of this complex narrative.
Shit, tell me. I'm curious. I want to know.
But before we move further, please make sure to subscribe, to U.S. press time.
Dude, I just did. Don't tell me to subscribe. I wouldn't be able to subscribe on my own. Tell me this message at the end of your video, okay?
So that you don't miss any updates. On the eve of the crucial presidential elections, the rally in Pennsylvania turned chaotic when a 20-year-old shooter, identified as Thomas Matthew Crooks, fired shots from a...
See, they should put an updated picture of this, yo. I mean, picture of the young boy, because at the end of the day, putting this, yo, a lot of people did think it was a teenager when this first, I was one of them.
Nearby rooftop. The attack left Trump with glass fragments hitting his face, leading to initial reports of a bullet injury. Crooks was swiftly neutralized by the Secret Service, but not before his actions left a significant mark on the event and its attendees. Witnesses described the scene as chaotic, with the sound of gunfire sending waves of panic through the crowd. Despite the pandemonium, Trump's response was swift. He raised his fist in a defiant gesture, trickling from his ear, an image that would quickly become iconic. The incident, however, was more complex than it appeared at first glance. Within moments, social media was ablaze with the word staged. The term, often associated with extreme conspiracy theories, questioned the authenticity of the attack. Was it a genuine attempt on Trump or a dramatic performance to garner sympathy? The internet, ever the breeding ground for speculation, saw millions of views on posts filled with rumors, hate speech, and baseless claims. Videos and photographs from the rally flooded platforms like X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Users analyzed every frame, looking for inconsistencies or signs of orchestration. A significant portion of the discourse revolved around how the crowd reacted, or, as some argued, didn't react, in the immediate aftermath of the being fired. This, they claimed, was evidence that the event was staged. The words...
Listen, man. Could he have put a blood pack, like, you know, one of them little wrestling blood packs on his ear or something like that? And I don't know. I mean, listen, y'all keep forgetting that he used to be a celebrity. He was even in wrestling entertainment. Shout out to, was it Simpson or Commander? One of the two just brought it up. Like, he shaved Vince McMahon's head off and said, "You're fired." Like, he whooped Vince McMahon's ass. As old as he was, a whole dinosaur, 2 dinosaurs wrestling in the ring. This was like an episode of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World.
Staged has become synonymous with conspiracy theories, often used to cast doubt on the veracity of acts or shootings. This incident was no different. As soon as the news broke, it dominated online conversations. Posts with millions of views questioned the security failings and the overall authenticity of the event. Social media platforms, particularly X, saw an explosion of activity. Hashtags like Oshter staged shooting, Osh Trump.
Yo, this shit did go. Yo, Twitter was the first app where this John went viral. It didn't go viral on YouTube. It didn't go viral on Instagram. It didn't go viral on TikTok first. Well, yo, you know what? I think TikTok and Twitter like go hand in hand. So let me just take that back. It didn't go viral on them other apps. Maybe TikTok first, but I'm talking about minutes after this happened. TikTok was blowing my phone. I mean, TikTok, Twitter. Like, I'm telling you that I got message after message after message after message, like on my damn laptop, on my phone. All I saw was Twitter notifications. Twitter. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? That shit went viral in a matter of seconds in Twitter.
Rally attack and Oshter false flag began trending. Influential accounts, some with blue ticks, amplified these theories, giving them more visibility and credibility in the eyes of their followers. The rapid dissemination of these ideas highlighted the powerful role social media plays in shaping public perception and narrative. Conspiracy theorists had a field day. Some posts highlighted the apparent lack of panic in the crowd, suggesting the attack was too well coordinated to be real. Others pointed to photographs showing Trump with a raised fist, blood on his face, and the U.S. flag perfectly positioned in the background as evidence of a staged photo op.
Yo, I ain't never even peeped about the flag. I ain't noticed it. I will have to go back to the video now. Yo, I'm definitely gonna go look at this video all the way, all the way. And what's crazy is I'm gonna do this shit on my phone, because on my phone I could zoom. No, if I download the video onto my computer, I could zoom it straight from my All right, bet. Power director, here we come.
Particularly viral post showed a side-by-side comparison of Trump's raised fist with historical images of other leaders in moments of crisis, implying that the gesture was premeditated. Another post dissected the timing and angle of the shots, arguing that they were too precise.
All right, I wanted to take it back here, right? You know what's crazy? They keep showing a picture of the 20-year-old as a 14-year-old. Like, you see how big this guy is? And I know females that are skinny can handle that. Like, I don't know. It would have taken him a minute to do this, to set this up. They didn't notice. They didn't stop him on time. That's my whole point. I know females could do it. I know males could do it. But here's my thing. Whether it was a male or a female, it takes a minute to set this up on the roof.
Premeditated. Another post dissected the timing and angle of the shots, arguing that they were too precise for a spontaneous act of violence. Assassination attempts on U.S. presidents have always attracted conspiracy theories. The most famous example is the...
No, I know he's not the shooter, but I was using the picture as an example because I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, it doesn't matter the weight. So, because I've seen female snipers, right? I've seen people smaller than me actually, use a sniper gun and stuff like that. But that's not even the point. That's why I was saying it like that, right? Let's take the weight and all that out the way, out the equation, right? They said that the officers were arguing with him before all this happened, before he even went up there, right? Here's my thing. Why not stop him there? Why not search the bag that he had? Because he must have had a bag carrying the sniper gun. Then he had to go up there. They saw him going up there. They saw somebody going up without clearance, but they thought it was one of theirs. So y'all telling me y'all not going to stop at that minute, at that moment, right? At that moment, y'all not going to stop or try to, get next to the president and start preparing for just in case. While y'all figure out who this vigilante is that's going up the steps. Civilian, I said vigilante, like this is a superhero movie. Who this civilian is that's going up the steps. It could be one of y'all's, it could not be one of y'all's. Right? And when he does go up to the roof, he has to take the time to set that John up and get the president himself and get the right, the perfect. He's got to get the perfect aim to get his target. Y'all telling me that around all that time, y'all couldn't have stopped him? Math ain't mathing. And I'm not a detective. I love watching crime videos and stuff like this, but I ain't go to school. But it's crazy how I've been able to put 2 and 2 in a lot of crime videos together and solve a lot of things like here on my own. I'm not saying I solved it like, oh yeah, we went to court and I was a lawyer and I was able to solve this case. No. What I'm saying is putting 2 and 2 together like, It's like the question that I ask all the time, right? Y'all say that, when we're born, let's put it like this, right? They have cold cases. Why is it that we have cold cases and, all this shit when we're born, they take our fingerprints, our footprints, our whole footprint, like the toe prints, everything, our handprint when we're born, our DNA, everything, they take it and they store it. They know what type of blood we are, we know what blood type we have and stuff like that. But yet when a crime is committed, they can never ever find the perpetrator. You see my point? But yet all our DNA is stored in hospitals. Fingerprints, everything.
Example is the assassination of John F. Kennedy in 1963. The real-time nature of Trump's incident mirrored JFK's, making it ripe for speculation. Historical context shows that such events often lead to a flurry of false reports and exaggerated claims. The comparison to JFK's assassination is not just about the event itself, but also about the subsequent waves of conspiracy theories that followed. Just as with JFK, the immediate aftermath of the attempt on Trump saw a deluge of alternative explanations and narratives, each seeking to explain the true nature of the incident. The public's fascination with these theories reflects a broader mistrust in official accounts and a desire to uncover hidden truths. Major news outlets like BBC, Raw Story, Newsmax, and Axios covered the incident extensively. Trump's account on Truth Social detailed his experience, describing the sensation of a bullet piercing his ear. Law enforcement officials were quick to clarify that Trump was hit by glass fragments, not a bullet, adding another.
Oh shit. So they're saying he got hit by glass fragments. What glass broke? I mean, I got questions. I mean, I know there's new details, but what glass broke? I mean, did the shooter put a piece of glass in the shape of a bullet into his sniper rifle and shot that John or some shit? Or like, was it ice that looked like glass particles? I mean, but you could tell the difference between ice. And if he was got to get shot by some type of ice bullet, it would have melted. But I mean, y'all these mother heifers.
Another layer of complexity to the narrative. Media coverage was split along familiar lines, with right-leaning outlets focusing on the heroism and resilience of Trump, while left-leaning platforms delved into the surrounding chaos and the subsequent conspiracy theories. This bifurcated reporting mirrored the broader political divide in the country. Each
So they have bloodstains out in the benches. Okay.
in the country, each side interpreting the events through their own ideological lens. The political spectrum was ablaze with reactions. Political spectrum was ablaze.
So they trying to say that's the young bull right here? Oh shit.
With reactions.
Is his leg bended? I don't know. The video is going so fast, but it looked like his leg is bended right here. Could this be a dummy? I don't think they fixed his legs right away.
Joe Biden condemned the attempt, calling it sick and urging unity. Elon Musk's endorsement of Trump minutes after the incident added fuel to the fire.
So Elon Musk endorsed him after the fact. I fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery. He endorsed him afterwards. That's weird.
Fire. Lawmakers from both sides expressed their concerns and called for investigations into the apparent security lapses. Biden's response, delivered in a solemn address, emphasized the need for civility and the rejection of violence in political discourse. He extended his well wishes to Trump and his family, calling for Americans to come together in the face of such acts of aggression. This call for unity, however, was met with mixed reactions, especially given the highly polarized political climate. High-profile figures like Barack Obama, Boris Johnson, and even Trump's adversaries expressed their reactions. Obama emphasized the need for civility and respect in politics, while others like Elon Musk used the moment to solidify their political endorsements. Celebrities from the entertainment industry also weighed in, with some using their platforms to either condemn the or to question its authenticity. The widespread attention from public figures further amplified the incident's impact, making it a focal point of national and international discourse. Thomas Matthew Crooks, the shooter, had a troubling background, rejected from his high school rifle team for being a poor shot and exhibiting concerning behavior.
Wait, they give you shooting lessons in high school? I didn't know that. I just thought about that. They've been saying that for a minute about him being rejected in his rifle. They do that in high school?
Crooks' past raised questions about how he managed to get so.
And I'm asking because they don't do that here in Philly. They don't teach you rifle lessons in Philly in high school.
Condemn the or to question its authenticity. The widespread attention from public figures further amplified the incident's impact, making it a focal point of national and international discourse. Thomas Matthew Crooks, the shooter, had a troubling background. Rejected from his high school rifle team for being a poor shot and exhibiting concerning behavior, Crooks' past raised questions about how he managed to get so close to the rally. Classmates recalled his ominous jokes about guns and his unsettling demeanor. Crooks.
It's crazy how on the news they were saying Trump hit by glass fragments, not bullets.
History included multiple red flags that, in hindsight, suggested potential for violent behavior. Reports from his high school years painted a picture of a young man struggling with social interactions and harboring a fascination with fire. His rejection from the rifle team was not just about his skills, but also his perceived instability and the risks he posed. Though a registered Republican, Crooks had made a donation to a group supporting Joe Biden in 2020. His actions and background added layers of confusion and
so they say in Trump campaign to just after shooting. So damn, if they staged it, they did do it. Like I said earlier, if it was staged, and once again, I'm saying if it was staged, could it have been to draw attention or something like that? And it appears to be. Damn, I was right without knowing I was right. But I don't know. This is all allegedly, and I would say it like that. Huh. This is crazy.
And speculation about his true motivations and affiliations. This contradictory profile led to various theories about his motives. Some speculated that he was a misguided individual acting
That's
out
a
of
good
personal
question,
frustration,
Commander.
while others believed he was a pawn in a larger political game. The complexity of his background made it difficult to pinpoint a clear motive, fueling further speculation and conspiracy theories. In interviews and social media posts, Trump detailed his experience, emphasizing the miraculous nature of his survival. He described how a slight turn of his head saved him from a fatal injury. His statements aimed to reassure his supporters and project an image of resilience.
So a slight turn of his head saved him. He knew the bullet was coming or the glass fragment was coming.
And strength. Trump's recounting of the event was filled with dramatic flair, highlighting his sense of destiny and survival. He spoke about the miracle of his survival, framing it as a sign of divine intervention or sheer luck. His narrative was designed to bolster his image as a resilient leader, capable of withstanding even the most direct threats. The Secret Service faced intense scrutiny for allowing the shooter to get so close. Comparisons were drawn to past security failures, and there were demands for an urgent investigation. Some suggested that routine checks could have prevented the incident. The scrutiny on the Secret Service was intense, with critics questioning how such a lapse could occur. Detailed investigations were launched to examine the security protocols and to identify any gaps or failures. This incident was seen as a significant breach, comparable to the attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan in 1981. Social media users from all sides weighed in. Some supported the conspiracy theories, while others vehemently defended the legitimacy of the attack. Viral images and videos from the event continued to fuel the debate. Public sentiment was sharply divided.
See, at this moment right here is where I questioned it, because I was watching this live, like I said on part 1 of this live. Like he touched his ear, he looked at it, but there was no blood in his hand. No blood at all. He threw himself on the floor. Secret Services came in a couple minutes later. When they picked him up, he had blood in his ear, in his face. I mean, I don't know. Listen, man. I saw a lot of stuff. I spoke on it. I gave my opinion. I don't want to keep repeating myself. It's kind of crazy, though. Like, the world is a stage. But I got to go check the video back and check that flag out, because I never peeped the flag that it never moved.
Divided. On one side, supporters of Trump rallied around him, using the incident as further proof of his resilience and strength. On the other, detractors questioned every detail.
Facts, some. Thank you for showing a shorty support, for rocking out with a shorty, hanging out with a shorty. Listen, man, y'all didn't have to be here, but y'all here with a shorty tonight. Thank you so much. And thank you for the stream, Ryder. You're welcome. I appreciate you. Yo, this is crazy. Thank you for the link too. Thank you for, showing me this video. Yo, this is crazy. After this video, I am going to react to Papa Duck. Papa Duck is another person that says that the whole assassination attempt was staged. And the way he put it down and broke it down had me thinking even more. Like, I already had doubts. I didn't think it was real. But then again, what if? Because Trump has so many enemies. It was like I had to think about it in so many ways. I had to come up with a couple theories. But now I can come up with a conclusion. And I'm still stuck on like, all right, if it was glass fragments that he got hit with, where in the world did the glass come from?
Detail, suspecting a grand orchestration aimed at swaying public opinion. This polarization was evident in the heated debates across social media platforms.
All right, now I can see the flag a little better. Let me see.
Public opinion. This polarization was evident in.
That's the crazy, because they're only showing pictures, so I'm gonna have to go back to the video and look at that flag.
The heated debates across social media platforms. Celebrities and high-profile figures added their voices to the mix. Elon Musk's endorsement, Barack Obama's call for civility, and other reactions from political and entertainment spheres highlighted the widespread impact of the incident. High-profile endorsements and statements from celebrities played a crucial role in shaping the public discourse. Their reactions, whether supportive or critical,
All right, so if this little white thing right here, shiny little clear thing right here, if that's a glass fragment, did they put that on his ear? Did they cut him on purpose? But why would Trump let them do that? Like, man, you ain't fucking with me like that. Man. A glass, though? How did he get hit with glass? And then allegedly somebody is not here no more.
Were amplified by their vast followings, adding another layer to the complex narrative surrounding the incident. Looking back at the history of assassination attempts on U.S. presidents provides valuable context for understanding the recent incident involving Donald Trump. The most infamous assassination is that of John F. Kennedy in 1963, which has been the subject of numerous conspiracy theories and has left an indelible mark on American history. Similarly, the attempt on Ronald Reagan's life in 1981 by John Hinckley Jr. also generated widespread media attention and public speculation. These events, among others, show a pattern where such incidents often become fertile ground for conspiracy theories, regardless of the evidence presented by official investigations. Conspiracy theories surrounding assassination attempts tend to follow a predictable pattern. They often emerge from a combination of public distrust in government, the dramatic nature of the events, and the media's role in disseminating information. Theories usually focus on perceived inconsistencies in official narratives, the presence of unexplained elements, and the involvement of influential figures or organizations. The recent attempt on Trump's life fits this pattern well, with immediate skepticism and speculation fueled by social media and partisan divides. The assassination attempt on Donald Trump has.
So basically, they're trying to say that they made it to look like if it was an assassination, like the JFK or the Reagan. Why? Because he's related to them, or I mean, what was the whole point of even staging this, and why?
Has undoubtedly affected his campaign strategy. Initially planning to deliver a hard-hitting speech at the upcoming Republican National Convention, Trump has now pivoted to a more unifying message. He aims to bring together a divided nation, emphasizing resilience and solidarity in the face of violence. This shift in tone is not only a response to the attack, but also a strategic move to garner broader support and sympathy from the electorate. Trump's campaign team has been quick to capitalize on the incident, framing it as an attack not just on him, but on the values and beliefs of his supporters. This narrative is designed to energize his base and attract undecided voters by portraying Trump as a resilient leader who can overcome even the most direct threats. The visual of Trump with a ear raising his fist in defiance has become a powerful symbol for his campaign.
So now he's raising his fist in defiance. I thought he was saying power to the people. I didn't know he was saying start rallies, and now, as he's saying, raising his fist in defiance. Like, yo, now I know.
Evoking a sense of determination and unyielding strength. Public perception of the incident is crucial for Trump's campaign. His immediate response and subsequent handling of the situation will play a significant role in shaping voter opinions. Supporters see him as a hero who survived an attempt, while critics continue to question the authenticity of the event. The polarized reactions highlight the deep divisions within the country, but they also provide an opportunity for Trump to solidify his base and potentially win over skeptics by demonstrating resilience and leadership. The impact on public perception extends beyond Trump's immediate supporters. The incident has brought national and international attention, prompting discussions about political violence, security measures, and the overall state of American politics.
So do y'all believe that Trump did this to get the attention, to get more voters, to have us feel sympathy for him?
How Trump addresses these broader issues in his campaign will be critical in shaping his public image and influencing voter behavior. The attempt on Donald Trump at the Pennsylvania rally has left a deep mark on American political discourse. The rapid spread of conspiracy theories, the reactions from political figures and celebrities, and the ongoing investigations into security failures all contribute to a complex and evolving narrative. The event has not only highlighted the power of social media in shaping public opinion, but also underscored the deep-seated mistrust in official accounts and the pervasive influence of conspiracy theories. This incident serves as a reminder of the fragility of political events and the power of social media in shaping public perception. As the story
saw him coming down like he was in a part of Home Alone. That's how he was coming down on Home Alone.
Public perception. As the story continues to unfold, the debates and discussions it has sparked will likely influence the political landscape for months to come. The incident has the potential to reshape the narrative of the upcoming elections, emphasizing issues of security, resilience, and national unity. The broader impact of the incident extends beyond Trump's campaign. It raises important questions about the state of political discourse in America, the role of media in disseminating information, and the ways in which public perception can be manipulated. As the nation grapples with these issues, the assassination attempt on Trump will likely be remembered as a significant moment in the ongoing struggle to navigate a deeply divided political landscape.
Shout out to Simpson. Shout out to Commander. I didn't know about that video. Damn, they did expose a lot. I have a lot more questions thanks to that. Yo. But I had my suspicions. And like the bull said, like until everything really comes out, we're not gonna know what really happened. And we all have to go by allegedly. Like it's crazy how they try to play us and keep manipulating us and brainwashing us into doing what they want. But if you're smart, like and you're woke, you'll know what to do. Like you seen on how that other video that I showed, the bull was saying, like he thinks it's evil that there are free thinkers out here. Like the bull was throwing shots at people in Canada, talking about that in Canada they're asleep, they're not woke. And that's why they don't know about the things that are happening to them. I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait. I know a lot of Canadians and a lot of them are woke. And they don't just know about what's going on in their country, they know what's going on over here. So I'm sitting here like, so they think that us being woke, us doing our research, us trying to, connect the dots is something diabolical, something evil. Like, wait, where we do that at? All right, shout out to Papa Duck. This is gonna be my last video. Let's see. These are open panels, like I said before. I said it earlier. Like y'all more than welcome to come up with a shorty. You know, talk with her, have a conversation, give y'all perspectives. You know, give y'all thoughts, what y'all think, how y'all perceive this. Y'all not gonna be judged. That's the this the podcast. We're gonna talk about it all. And at the end of the day, can't nobody judge nobody for an opinion. And if my opinion or somebody that is here with a shorty, their opinion bothers y'all, like I've said time after time, the door is there. Just make sure the doorknob doesn't hit you where the door splits you. Because I don't judge a book by its cover. I definitely don't. But opinions should never be judged because an opinion is an opinion. It's how you think or how you feel or how you see things.
I know by now y'all heard about this fake ass assassination with
He said
Donald
fake
Trump.
ass.
I told y'all.
Oh
When
shit.
the bitch told me that shit, bitch, I went back to doing what I was doing. This shit Looney Tunes, man. I've been telling y'all, bro, this all
Damn, you serious? I'm in North Philly, right? I don't know where y'all at, but I know it's gonna be hot as hell. It's 5:13 in the morning, and we got a heat warning in effect. Like it's about to get hotter than what it is already. It was 80 degrees outside last night, and it was feeling like it was 200 degrees outside. Like, and now we got a whole heat warning. I just looked at it. The little heat, the little temperature thingy came out. Not saying heat warning in the morning. We're at 70 degrees, 76 degrees outside right now, man. It's gonna be hot as shit today, yo. And I gotta go to physical therapy. This is some bullshit. Blessings, Miss April. How you doing today? Well, let's hear what Papa Duck gotta say. My bad.
shit Looney Tunes, man. I've been telling y'all, bro, this all been an act, bro. Tell me one person that they tried to do that to that they missed. JFK? A whole world seen that. That boy got his motherfucking scalp peeled on national. Crazy part is when you go watch the documentary about that whole thing and why it happened, it was because he was trying to really help America, or he was trying to really like get rid of the CIA. You know what I'm saying?
I see why they trying to compare it to the JFK. Ain't that some shit?
He knew some things. You got to go see the documentary. But I told y'all, if they ain't trying to do something to you like this and succeed, because it's fake, but if they ain't trying to do this to you, that's because you ain't a threat. That's why Jesse Jackson's still there. That's why.
Hold on 1 second. I hear something in my ear.
Everybody you see that supposedly was for the people, they're still there because they're not a threat. They're acting accordingly and doing as they're told. Okay.
Hey, Papa Duck. Blessings, Miss April Showers. How you doing this morning? Hello? Let me go back to the studio. I was gonna say, I'm like, hey, Miss April Shower normally talks. I'm like, is my doing something wrong? Good morning. How you doing this morning?
But it's still, I must. Okay, there I am. Okay, hey, how you been doing? You know, I don't feel like that was staged.
You don't think it was staged?
No.
I don't know. Something was off. To me, something was way off with John.
Huh?
I said, to me, something was way off on there.
Well, you know, I think that kid, he probably was gonna go do something else, but found out Trump was coming to town and did that. Now, I don't think that.
Allegedly, he was a supporter.
Huh?
I said, allegedly, he was a supporter.
Girl, that boy had never voted.
I mean, I don't know. Like, he was 20 years old, so he was able to vote.
He was 20 years old. He registered 2 years ago, and he registered as a
Democrat. No, he didn't register as a Democrat. He voted for a Democrat first, Then the year
Yeah.
after that, he registered as a Republican.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I don't know, because allegedly, you know, he started supporting the Republican side. Like, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just a lot of stuff is weird on that, John. And if you like really break the video down and observe it, like you'll see for yourself. Like, I do know that the world is staged, like it's a whole illusion. And if it's not real, you see where I'm coming from? It's messed up. And if it's real,
Oh, girl, I
like,
know.
damn. Like, that's
I
crazy.
know.
Like,
I don't.
now
I
they're
don't
saying that he
think.
got hit. They're saying that he got hit by a glass fragment and it wasn't a bullet. So it's kind of like nothing is making sense on this, John.
And what glass? I mean, what
I asked
glass
the
would
same
have been?
thing. I said the same thing.
I mean, you know, do they really think we stupid now?
Shit.
You know, these people, like, don't y'all know that we know that the media has been mind effing us for years? Too many people got cell phones and stuff, so y'all can't tell us anything anymore. I don't think they cared one way or the other that that boy was on that roof.
Yeah, it's all like first they say that, you know, that first they said that they didn't know that somebody was there. Now they're saying that they noticed somebody there, that they try to
Girl,
warn
you
her.
got witnesses. They was telling them that they saw the boy up there and stuff. Like, you know,
All crazy.
yeah.
It's all crazy. They
But
got
for
stories for everything.
anybody to wish death on somebody, that's sort of creepy to me. I
But
don't
see,
hate nobody.
my thing is he's 20 years old,
Huh?
right? I said my thing is he's 20 years old, right? What did he have against
Yeah.
Trump? What crossed through his head? What made him go up there? You see where I'm coming from to do this? And we're not gonna
Oh,
find
well,
out. But
these kids now, that's their thing. The ones that end up turning,
you went into the
they
matrix.
want to be the next person to go down in history.
Yeah, this is all crazy.
It's doing this type of stuff. Every time you turn around now, like now they at parades. How many did they get at the parades? You know, it's some sick mind games. I think these video games done mess these kids up too.
Oh, you ain't lying on that. I mean, not all
You
video games,
know,
not all kids are into video games, but the majority of these games, these kids think that they can actually, you know, play them out in real life. So you're speaking some facts right there. Yeah, like, where the
Ryder,
parents?
you went. Oh, there you go.
I'm
You
just wondering.
know,
I'm listening.
and I really feel sorry for the parents because they probably were good parents. Okay. You know, when your kids reach when they get to be a certain age, it ain't nothing you can do. But of course, the parents are gonna always feel guilty. What did I do? What didn't I do? And all of this.
Facts.
But something was off about that for that kid to get on that roof. People telling them that there's a guy on the roof. He's able to get off a couple of shots
Not just
first.
that, it takes a minute for you to set up that sniper on that rifle and shit. Like,
Yeah.
why
And
did it
then-
take so long for y'all to get to that young boy to stop him?
And then you got Charlie's Angels.
She said Charlie's Angels.
Girl, I call them Charlie's Angels because I'm going to tell you something. It's just some jobs to me, women just don't need to be doing. And I'm not saying this against women because I'm pretty sure there is some great women out there that are excellent sharpshooters and all of this, but
Oh, you
it's
talking about the chick, the lady that was in there? She was real, like, I don't know, like she was a rookie or something. She shouldn't have been there.
girl, she couldn't even holster a gun. And then, like, I used to be a correctional officer. They're not even supposed to wear ponytails.
You know?
You know, because actually somebody could take your ponytail and mess, choke you or something.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
You know, when you're in that type of job, they don't even want you to have long hair and ponytails because your hair can actually hurt you.
I didn't know
I'm
that.
like,
It's the first time hearing it.
yeah. When you now, if you're yeah, defending somebody, no, they don't want you to have long hair. Cause just think, somebody could grab your hair.
Oh shit. That ain't the job for me then, because I ain't cutting my hair. I ain't doing shit. I like my hair the way it is.
Well, you ain't getting ready to be no Secret Service, are you?
Hell no. But I was thinking about becoming a special victims
Or
unit
going to
when I was younger.
corrections?
I was thinking about that as one of my, one of my dreams when I was little, but I didn't get to make it. So
Honey, let me tell you something. All you need is a high school diploma, they tell me.
shit. I heard people trying to study for that shit, and that ain't no just on high school diploma. Not to be that special victims unit, and then the training for that shit. I'm good. That's something that you want to start off straight after high school working on, because it goes by levels. Like you got to be a cop first, I think it is, or some shit like that, and you work your way up to the detective part.
I don't know. Chaotic Truth called the Secret Service today doing his show, but honey, we've been in the heat wave, 2 tornadoes in 2 days. So I've been with and without power.
Oh
Like,
shit! Wow.
honey, I just threw my hands up tonight and was just like, let me just get this to God because I'm not ready to sit up here. I, I was a little nervous at first, let that sky change. And honey, I said some prayers and I was like listening to the alarms, looking out the window. Matter of fact, I did like a 2-minute video. I'm like, I'm not going to sit up here and be all nervous and scared, get my blood pressure and anxiety, you know, like, this is
Like
crazy.
I tell
Oh,
people, listen, I'm not shocked, right? Because they've been talking about this for years. And to me, it's not a prediction. To me, it's been a warning. Like, all right, these were warnings they were giving us. Like, basically, like The Simpsons, the Boondocks, and all that. Like, they was trying to say, all right, if Trump comes into office or this happens with Trump, well, this is what's going to happen to him. I mean, for me, it's a warning. Like, they're not even a warning. It's way more than a warning. They're telling us what they're going to do. But maybe I'm
yeah.
wrong.
And they say history repeats itself, Ryder.
Yeah, it does, because we don't know how to break that cycle.
And like I say,
I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like on some real shit. I'm really woke, and I know I'm young, and I'm saying this, but we're in an era where we have too many excuses. My old heads used to tell me, my elders used to tell me, I can't, I won't, I don't know how to. you know, them type of words in your vocabulary shouldn't even exist, but they do.
Well,
So it's kind of
yeah.
like, yeah, I see us. We're making excuse after excuse on why we can't make the change and the differences. Like I've had people get mad at me and be like, no, I'm like, listen, man, say whatever you want, but I'm telling you what I see. We're making too many excuses.
Well, you know, they trying to dumb down people now. They trying to soften. You know, they dumbing down men. You know, we become too sensitive.
Shit, man, but they've been telling us. They said that by 2045, they saying that allegedly all the men are going to be like women, and we're only in 2024, going on 25. So imagine
Wait a
that.
minute. You went in and out. What did you say now?
I said they're saying that by 2045, the men are going to be very feminine. That we're going to have no more real men out here.
That's what I'm saying. They dumbing down men. Real men. Real men.
Hey, Commander Funny, she said at this time I thought Trump was going to be the Antichrist. You know that they're saying that the guy from Saudi Arabia is going to be supposed to be the
What did
next.
Commander say?
She said at this point I thought Trump was going to be the Antichrist. And I was telling her that
Hey, Commander.
they're saying that the Prince of Saudi Arabia is supposed to be the next Antichrist. They got so many theories out here, like. And I'm just listening.
And check this out. Now I will see. It's like this. You know, if I see something good, Trump did acknowledge that. Thank God that he was alive. It was an intervention, a holy intervention, and I had tears in my eyes. I had tears in my eyes when he said that.
All right, let me. I'm gonna put Papa Duck on pause real quick because they got an update on this real quick. Hold on. Where was I at? That I just saw the update. Oh.
What happened?
Hold
Why
on, they
you
got an
keep
update.
breaking up?
I'm not sure. I think it's on your side because over here I'm checking the audio. I'm good on my side.
Do you hear me fine?
Yeah, you going in and out the matrix sometimes, but I hear you. I'm like, I'm
Okay.
connected to my Wi-Fi. I'm like, everything's good over here. I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi. I'm connected straight to the modem.
Okay,
Like,
hold on.
everything's
Let me
good over
see. Well, like I say, honey, I'm hooked up to the mobile data and this internet.
There we go.
But anyway, we become too sensitive.
Here we go. You right. We said it. Like a lot of we live in an era where everybody's in their emotions. There we go. I got it. This is an update. They're saying the FBI cracked the young bull's phone. So let's see what happens. Graphic warning: FBI cracks phone of Trump shooting suspect. Retours. So let's see.
All I know is I don't believe nothing was staged. I don't think nobody trying to take themselves out of here. I do feel as though they didn't try to save him. Okay. So we looking at a video. Cool.
Yeah, this is an update. That's what I was saying. I'm about to see.
The FBI says it has gained access to the phone of Thomas Matthew Crooks, the suspect in the shooting of Donald Trump at a Pennsylvania campaign rally. The statement came Monday as the Bureau continues to investigate the 20-year-old's motive for the crime. The former president's right ear was grazed by a bullet, and one supporter was killed before a Secret Service agent shot Crooks dead on Saturday. FBI agents on Monday were seen entering Crooks' home in Bethel Park, south of Pittsburgh. Public records showed Crooks was a registered Republican and that he also donated $15 to a Democratic political action committee when he was 17. At the time of the shooting, he was employed as a dietary aide at a nursing home. Neighbors Reuters spoke to on Monday described Crooks as a pretty nice kid who kept to himself.
I've never had a conversation with him, no. But no, he seemed like a really pretty nice kid, honestly. But no, I never. And he was friendly enough, smile, wave, you know.
He looked familiar, but I never really saw him around ever. He just seemed to stand away.
The FBI stressed that its investigation is still in its early stages. The rifle used by the shooter was legally purchased by his father. Officials said there was no indication that Crooks suffered from any mental health issues. The shooting is being treated as both an assassination attempt and potential domestic terrorism.
So they managed to crack his phone, but they can't figure out what's going on. Oh, snap. Miss April dropped. I ain't even noticed Miss April dropped. She said, I think it's my internet. Okay, Miss April. And okay, it was nice having you up on the panel though. Like, I mean, I don't this is on YouTube if you want to go check it out. Let me copy the link real quick and I'm gonna leave it down here for y'all. So I'm gonna put this in the chat for anybody that wants to use the link. Y'all can copy it. Y'all can copy it and use it. So that's the link to the video that we just watched right now, where they say that they cracked the young bull's phone. They said they cracked the young bull's phone and they got more information. So if y'all want to go check that out, y'all can check it. It was an hour ago that they put that video up. Shout out to Miss April Showers for coming up and giving her perspective, her opinion. I mean, she makes a real good, valid point, y'all. I mean, right now, I can't really give my conclusion all the way. I'm still connecting the dots until the end. I mean, I'm stuck in the middle. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm really stuck in the middle. Like, and the reason, like I told y'all, is because I know that we live in a world of illusions. But let's take a minute, listen to what Papa Duck has to say and see if he makes a point. I mean, a lot of us is like, a lot of people, I'm not talking about the media and I'm not talking about that. Like the people that I've talked to so far, like Miss April Showers and other people, they make a good valid point on their opinions on what they think on what happened at this rally.
Yo, what's happening, man? It's your boy Papa Duck, man. Listen. I know by now y'all heard about this fake ass assassination with Donald Trump.
No, man, I don't want nobody to be alive. That's why I said, like, if this is like, if it's real, it's fucked up. If it's fake, it's fucked up. Either way you look at it, yo, this whole situation is messed up. Like, why would somebody want to fake something to draw this type of attention? Because then if it turns out that it's fake, you're not believed no more. Then when you look at the part where if it's real, damn, like I got so many questions, like, but I can't really, I'm not going to give my opinion. I mean, I am giving my opinion. I'm not going to give my conclusion until everything is completely out, because you never know. Like, what y'all got to fail to realize is Trump has made so many enemies out here. Trump did expose a lot of the government secrets. Like I was saying earlier on this live, like if it's real, could it have been the left side that did it? You see where I'm coming from? Could it have been, when I say the left side, could it have been the blue side that sent somebody to do this, and why? Then when you look at the young bull, you know, the young bull that's not here no more, they tried to attempt an assassination on the ex-president, on the 45th president of the United States. and he is the ex-president, a lot of people are saying he's president, right? What would make him want to do this? Like, was he really into politics into this? Like, did somebody pay him? Like, you know, they're saying he has no mental issues, that he was a loner, somebody that was bullied in high school. I mean, I don't know. We're not gonna know what made this young bull do this until we get more information. See, that's what I want to know. More information on the young bull and much more. But then there's clues out here that make it seem like it's staged. So it's kind of like, like I said, I'm stuck in the middle because I don't want to put my foot in my mouth and then like, damn, okay, I said this and I said that. No, when I'm still like, damn, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that, and I'm not going by what the media is saying, but I'm trying to put the clues together on what I saw on the video myself. Like, I'm a little stuck in the middle. But back on topic, let's hear what Papa Duck got to say.
Oh, y'all. When the bitch told me that shit, bitch, I went back to doing what I was doing. This shit Looney Tunes, man. I've been telling y'all, bro, this all been an act, bro. Tell me one person that they tried to do that to that they missed. JFK? A whole world seen that. That boy got his motherfucking scalp peeled on national. Crazy part is when you go watch the documentary about that whole thing and why it happened, it was because he was trying to really help America, or he was trying to really like get rid of the CIA. You know what I'm saying? He knew some things. You got to go see the documentary. But I told y'all, if they ain't trying to do something to you like this.
And that's true. The JFK assassination was because JFK was opening his mouth, like I said on the first part of this live, and like I said earlier on this live. So I kind of see why they're saying, you know, I said it too. I was like, damn, they're trying to JFK him. But I see why the world, not the whole world, a lot of people are comparing it to the JFK situation. Because, you know, for those of y'all that don't know or don't want to know, Trump has been exposing a lot of stuff. He has. He's put a lot of stuff out there that we shouldn't even know about.
This and succeed because it's fake. But if they ain't trying to do this to you, that's because you're in a threat. That's why Jesse Jackson still there. That's why Obama, everybody you see that supposedly was for the people, they're still there because they're not a threat. They're acting accordingly and doing as they're told. Okay, Martin Luther King, even though he didn't die off the balcony shot, he actually died in the hospital. Most people don't know that.
And that's true. When you go do your research on Martin Luther King and you go dig down that rabbit hole, when you come out, you're going to be like, why did they tell us that he died in this place when in reality he died in his hospital bed? And back in 2019, 2020, and 2021, they were exposing all these pictures. So it showed and proved the people that was talking about the situation years back, right? And they were saying, you know, people were calling them liars, conspiracy theories. Well, conspiracy theory, boom, checked. He was in a hospital bed when he passed away.
He was smothered. He died at the hospital. He was still alive. But what I'm trying to tell you, this is Looney Tunes, bro. This is all the game. All the game. It ain't the ones you know, it's the ones you don't know. And the ones you don't know, it's not a threat. Because you don't know about them. You don't even know they exist. How to control a population. Keep them dumb.
I've been using Epidemic Sound as my go-to resource for background music and sound effects for the last 6 years, since I grew my YouTube channel from 100 subscribers.
It's simple. Like, we've been under this regime so long to, like, especially black folks, we don't even feel as though we can, I'm not going to say we don't feel as though we can control our own destiny. But a lot of people can't even fathom that in their minds because we've been controlled and told to do for so long. Just people in general, not just black people, just people in general. People think if we don't got government, the world gonna collapse. If we don't have the police, people just gonna be running around doing what you think they doing now? This is what I don't understand. With all these things put in place, this is you got like the world a safer place. It's not. It's the illusion that they're there to help. But there's not. People still get killed. Things are still happening. because they're attacking you in ways that you're not paying attention. That was so fake. I don't even know what this. Well, America need to tighten up. That shit also Hollywood. I'm talking about what we call fling ding, my nigga. That was a fling ding assassination. Big as that big head is, you be telling me a bitch practicing. And if you know anything about the Army and just those type of high-end law enforcement, how they scope the parameters, how they know all the spots set, this spot, that spot, especially on top of like buildings and shit, rooftops and all that. If you know the protocols of
That's what I said. Like, why wasn't that scene protected? That part right there. It was the only spot that wasn't really protected, allegedly, right? Like, this is not making sense. Like, it takes time to set up a rifle. It takes time to go up that roof. And if people were shouting that there was somebody out there acting, not in their right state of mind, what took the Secret Service and the officials that were there that day that long to detain the young man? Shit just not adding up, and I'm gonna keep saying
you know that come on, bro. Then you know the internet gonna do their work.
Yep.
Find out the same guy that supposedly did this works for BlackRock. If you know who BlackRock is, like why? Like at the end of the day, bro. Oh man, I told y'all cameras are weapons.
Wait a minute. They're saying that the young boy worked for BlackRock. Wait a minute. Hold up. What?
It's just like anything else. It can be weaponized. Anything that's good can also be bad, depending on how it's used. Okay? They use these cameras to set this up and show you this and show you that, but they ain't gonna show you that, or they ain't gonna show you that. I keep telling y'all, the biggest issue is we don't have big enough media outlets, right, to control the narrative. This is why black women are going to continue to be controlled. Young boys are going to continue to be told what to do, young men, women, society, because we don't own no type of media or publication. If they wanted to get something out on you today, they'll have that shit out in 48 hours. The whole world would know whatever it is that they're trying to tell. Okay? And like Tilt say, how could you give a person with no information the utmost consideration? A person that's speaking from a place of ignorance, don't know what the fuck going on based off what CNN said or what NASA said. And these people are bona fide liars, bro. It's so crazy they lied about the moon landing. Because if you know anything about anything, they never been to no damn moon. And if they did, you don't think they would have been left our ass. But they lied about the moon landing. They dissected that, so man, that was a fucking major flop. They dissected that so much they had to come out and say, yeah, that was a lie. To the point they just created and made a Hollywood movie about it. It's out right now. There's a Hollywood movie about how they faked the moon landing. How fake is that? Now they finna take the fake shit like they do everything else, like the Titanic and every other incident, and now they finna monetize it. That's how crazy we is. We ain't even finna stand up and be like, hell no, y'all don't lie to us. Now y'all finna try to create a movie. How do you control millions of people? You keep them dumb. That's why they control our education. I keep telling you, I give y'all the root problem. What is the root problem of the world? You're uneducated. Like you're ignorant. Meaning you just don't know.
Hey, that's why I keep telling everybody. I stand for something, I'll fall for nothing. And I fight for what I believe in.
All you dumb or stupid, but you're trying to play a game that you don't have no rules to. It's simple. How do you control millions of people? Keep them stupid. Keep them dumb. Don't tell them shit. Nothing.
That's why reading is fundamental, y'all. Start reading, start re-educating. You gotta listen, man. In order to understand your present and understand the future, you gotta understand your past, how we got here, what led us here. But people they don't care.
And that's how we continue to be controlled.
There is electromagnetic energy in that pyramid between.
The reason they keep doing like they just did was in the Olympics, okay? I can't think of old girl name, the chick that they kicked out for smoking in the Olympics and all that, and everybody was saying this and that about her. So she came back and broke the records. Now it's another guy that did his thing with a 12-year-old. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? They let him back into the Olympics, even though they have a clause saying that, hey, if you've done something like this to this magnitude, you're out of there on any type of sports. Like as far as like, especially with the Olympics. Nope, they let him back in. And yeah, you're a white guy. The thing about it is this, dog. They're gonna continue to keep doing these things because they have to keep it fresh on your mind. They have to show you that, look, nigga.
Brainwashing, manipulation.
Even though we still run this shit, they have to show you this. You have to see this in your mind, and once you see it so much, it become a constant thing to the point. If somebody do something to black people right now, we already know it's gonna happen. They're gonna talk shit, and they don't want to. They probably suspend the police officer with pay, even though they was, even though a lot of this shit be planned out. Yeah, go in there, do that. We're gonna give you off with pay. Blah blah blah. Blow this up in the world, like they say, never let a good crisis go to waste. We're gonna show the world that police still can go ahead and do all this bullshit to y'all black people. Y'all ain't gonna do shit but call Al Sharpton, little fuck ass, and whoever else to come hold hands and march.
Hey,
But that's what niggas do. We're immune to that, bro. You human, bro. They know how to tap into your psychology. They know how to make you do shit without you even knowing you doing shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, oh man. But this is why we're going to continue to fall for the buffoonery, because the people that's doing it are making sure that we don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? They're making sure that we're dumbfounded about what's going on. And they
shit. It's like the boy was saying earlier on the video when we was reacting to it, y'all. Papa Duck spitting some gems, y'all. Like, if y'all haven't watched them, make sure y'all go watch them out. You don't always gotta agree with somebody, but he is spitting some gems. I don't agree with everything he always says, but I cannot deny the fact that he's spitting nothing but gems.
set the stage up to where people believe it. To where people believe it. To the point they got men thinking they this and they got women thinking they that. Like people don't, I'm gonna personally say that I don't care what you want to be. This is your life. But these people are gaslighting people or gassing people up to make it feel as though just because you want to be this, that the world supposed to move out the way and just let you be that. Be that. But respect other people too. They got the power to sway that left or right. They got the power to make you believe this when it comes to politics and beliefs and different systems due to media outlets. I'm telling you, this is why Jeff Bezos bought into the Washington Post. This is why Elon Musk bought Twitter, because they can control the people. Don't you know they can put whatever they want out on Twitter or want out in these networks, because they all work together. And in 48 hours, whatever it is they're trying to get out there in the world,
it's gonna come out.
Now you tried. Let's say you.
I said it. When Trump got shot, as soon as he got shot, I started getting Twitter notifications. Them Twitter notifications were coming in like if the world was coming into it. Like, they was giving me notifications, alerts, like, yo, be careful or something. No, they were, Trump got shot. And what people were saying, like, everybody was on it on Twitter.
You saw something. Hypothetically, you saw some shit. You see it in the movies. You trying to tell everybody what's going on, everybody laughing, looking at you like you crazy. This is exactly what goes on in the real world. If you saw Jesus today in the flesh, no one will believe you. You know how stupid you'll sound?
Facts.
This is what I'm talking about. Okay? They have the power to change the perception. They have the power to make little boys wear skin-tight clothes that looks feminine. They have the power to make you buy into this gold government shit. They have the power to do it, and it's all done through government, through media, through radio, publications, TV. Why you think they fight for these things? Because at a push of a button, they can get the word out. That's the most powerful thing in the world. It went from broadcasting, which I've done videos about this. I'll do another one. It went from broadcasting to targeting. They don't have to broadcast no more. That's why you'll never hear the word broadcast. I'll break that down in a whole other video. But listen, man.
I can't wait for him to do that, the breakdown of the broadcasting. But I'm about to look up some videos. I got so many lives lined up, yo. Like, I want to sit here and do it. And like I tell y'all, like these old open panels, I would love to get y'all perspectives. We're not here to judge. We're not here to bring nobody down. We're here to bring solutions to the table. Each one teach one. Like, man, we're not with the beef. It's okay to have some roasting, some jokes, a little comedy, you know, in between. But as long as we respect each other. Like, I want to thank all those people that hopped on my panel, and we've been able to have conversations, bring real life topics, talk about them, try to, you know, bring solutions to the table, enjoy the live, you know, roast a little bit, have fun, joke around, and not once beef. So I want to thank all those that have done it like that. Like, yo, we need that back.
The whole little Donald Trump shit was a little flingo dingo. Them motherfuckers ain't gonna never miss. No sir. But this is America, and I know every other country is sitting up and laughing like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But look at here, Donald Trump got straight on the motherfucker ear.
They are. And you know, when you get on TikTok and when you talk with people from other countries and stuff like that, a lot of them will sit here and tell you, like, they fall back and they laugh, like, what the fuck is going on? What y'all don't know is that a lot of them get the news about what's happening over here before we even get the news. Ain't that some shit?
I be damned. Anyway, man, it's your boy Papa Doe. You know I love y'all, man.
Shout out to Papa Duck, y'all. Like, I don't know. Like, let us shorty know what y'all think about the situation. I know how Miss April Shower feels. Listen, man, like this whole situation is crazy. Y'all know how I feel. Like, y'all know that I be going down them rabbit holes like crazy. And like my opinion is my opinion. Like I respect other people's opinions. I think a lot of those out there that respect my opinion, like I'm blessed. I'm grateful that I've been able to have conversations with people, both male and female, about not just politics, about, you know, things that are happening around us. And we don't beef on these panels. Like, shout out to those that can have decent conversations and try to bring solutions to the table. Angel Hat, and shout out to Big Sis. How you doing? Blessings, blessings. Like, I've had people come on my panel, talk on their stories, and much more, help bring awareness. And those stories from those ladies, especially Angel Hatton is one of them, they have helped younger females out here in the community. Like I've gotten emails, I've gotten messages, right? Shout out to them. Shout out. Like, and that's what matters. Like, how can I say it? Your story, you never know how your story can impact somebody else's life, how it can help them, how it can help them overcome certain situations. Like, it's crazy. Like, so shout out to people that have here talked and helped bring awareness. Shout out to all of them. Papa Duck was spitting so many gems on this video. Me personally, like I said before, I'm stuck. I don't want to, come up with a conclusion until everything surfaces. It is leaning towards fake. It's leaning towards staged, but then again, it could be real. So it's kind of like, So I'm good. Thank you all. Hope you all good. Yes, yes, yo. Is y'all good over there in Australia? Yo, it's hot as hell over here. It's hot over here. Is it hot where you're at? It is hot as hell over here. But my biggest question to everybody is, do you think that what just happened to Donald Trump was fake or real? That's my biggest question. Do y'all believe that he staged it? And if he staged it, why? Do y'all believe that somebody paid the young bull? Do y'all believe that the young bull did it on his own, that he acted on his own? And if he did act on his own, why? See, I got questions for everything, and I have no answers for none of my questions because can't nobody answer them. I'm not just going to sit here and say, well, yeah, it's fake. Nah, yeah, it's real. No, when I know that the damn world is an illusion. And then it went from him being shot with a bullet to him getting hit with glass fragments. Where was the glass? Like, did they have a bullet made out of glass in that sniper rifle? I mean, I don't know. It's still so many questions. It's like winter here. Shit, I need to go over there and travel to Australia. It's real, but not sure if it's a lone wolf or sorrows paid. See? This is crazy. It is real crazy. But anyways, I want to thank all of y'all for rocking out with a shorty. Like I said, like I gave my opinions, but I brought these videos out to bring awareness, not to bring nobody down, not to judge nobody. That's why I'm asking one simple question. Do y'all believe it was real? Do y'all believe it was staged? And either one, if y'all believe it was real, why? If y'all believe that it was staged, why? Like, we're not here to judge. We're just here to bring solutions. So shout out to all those that rock with a shorty, rocked out with a shorty, helped the shorty bring awareness, have shared her videos, liked her videos, and have given comments. They have given their opinions, their perspectives, and the way they view and perceive things. So shout out to all those that have been here with a shorty. Till next time, this is your shorty Rachel. Hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble night. Well, morning, and continue to have a blessed and humble day.
In this world of blame and shame, we point fingers, we play the game. But as our children cry in fear, we turn a blind eye, we shed no tears. Believe our women, they say, while our kids are led astray. Lost in darkness, lost in pain, yet their cries fall silent like the rain. It's a shame how far we've come, blaming all the men playing dumb. But our children need us near to wipe their tears and calm their fears. In this land of the free, water's a commodity for you and me. Can't you see? It's not fair, it's plain to see. People struggling to pay for something they need every day. In America where we say we're free, but water shouldn't come at a fee. A shorty just speaking in general about the things that seem so just small. This ain't meant towards everyone, just a cry in the dark. In America where water is marked. Brothers and sisters, hear my plea. This is not about you or me. Our kids are the future, they hold the key. Wake up before we're met with defeat. In this world of chaos and strife, we must guide them to a better life. Teach them love, compassion, and light, so they can lead us out of this endless night. Let's unite as one strong force. For our children, let's stay on course. Together we can make a change and secure a better future in exchange. Y'all should have listened the first time they let the cat out the hat. Now it's a crime. Many are falling into a trap, thinking it's a game, but they full of cap. Some are ready and fully strapped, while others keep falling into the gap. The warning signs were clear as day, but some chose not to heed what they say. Now the consequences come to light. Those who ignored are in for a fight. Listen close and learn from this mishap. Don't be caught unaware. Don't fall into the trap. From the wisdom of my elders, I learned women are strong, independent, and firm. But sometimes we need a helping hand to conquer challenges and make a stand. Independence is crucial, that's true. Yet together, with a man, we can pursue. Respect yourself first and foremost, so others will treat you like the most. Ladies, growing up, remember this advice. You're capable of anything you devise. But partnership and respect go hand in hand. Embrace your strength and make a stand. Memories of the past I couldn't see, now I understand. The wisdom they gave me, respect yourself first, that's the key. To earn respect from others is how it should be. A man's worth measured by how he treats his queen. Love and romance in the air, a beautiful scene. A woman's power to uplift or demean. In her hands lies a man's dream. Lessons learned from an OG so true. In matters of the heart, they know what to do. Love and respect intertwined like glue. In a world where old-fashioned values still ring through. Peter Pan, Peter Pan, Peter Pan was a fairy tale. Now males want to be females without fail. Women want to be a man, it's a twisted tale. Flipping scripts and roles, they set sail. Fighting for roles, turning to moles. Making hits with their agenda goals. Targeting our kids, it takes a toll. To them it's a bliss, to us it's a black hole. They ain't trying to miss. Their agenda is the ultimate twist. Infiltrating young minds with their list. But we won't let them persist. I'm with women's rights, but what about men's too? Equality for all, it's long overdue. We want progress, we need to see both sides. Blame and shame won't help us unite. Don't label him a deadbeat without looking in the mirror. Sometimes it takes two to create rupture. Let's have conversations that include everyone. Empathy and understanding, the battles can be won. Men face struggles too, let's not forget. Their mental health matters, let's not neglect. It's time to break down walls and build bridges instead. Together we can strive for equality ahead. You scream for the police every time he come around. Then scream child support abuse, playing victim in this town. Enjoy that check, boo, but remember what goes up must come down. The only time he's worthy is when he bails you out the mess you found. You play the game, manipulating hearts without a doubt, but karma's knocking at your door, there's no way out. You point fingers and shift the blame around, but in the end, it's your own chaos that you found. You dance with danger, living on the edge of lies, but the truth will catch up to you, no more disguise. The man you rely on to clean up your mess is so profound, will soon see through your facade and leave you astounded. Using a child as a weapon, it's a shame. A woman who lacks self-respect, I can't acclaim. Real men fighting for what they believe in, never in vain. Standing 10 toes down, bringing awareness to the pain. Respect is earned by how you carry yourself, not by tearing others down for personal wealth. Real men don't back down, they fight with honor and stealth against injustice and falsehoods that threaten our health. Let's uplift each other instead of tearing apart, supporting one another from the start. Real men stand tall with courage in their heart, fighting for justice and truth, playing their part. Here's for the men who share their truth, never afraid to stand tall in their boots, respecting our women, fighting for what's right, supporting our kids day and night. Real women out there blazing trails, men by their side never looking pale. Rights for all, let's keep the balance true. Men have a voice, let's listen to. In this crazy world where battles are fought, let's remember the men who give it all they've got. Respect to those who speak their stories loud. Together we stand strong and proud. Together we stand, united we'll rise, setting an example for young eyes. In every step we take, in every plan, guiding the next generation's hand. Leading by actions, not just by words, teaching them to fly like birds. Showing love and respect in all we do, for they're always watching, taking cues. Hand in hand, let's pave the way for a better tomorrow, starting today. Our children learn from what they see. Let's show them how great they can be. Let's be what our children need.